Alright guys, BLM here, back, another live stream, an actual normal stream, kinda, we'll see, obviously doing the Big Brother power ranking today, and then also working on the player ranking, which we are almost done, hopefully. If I'm not, then fuck me, but generally I think we're almost done. I think, if I were to guess, I would say by the end of tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then definitely Friday. I think we'll be done. Um, but yeah, and then I'll have the stream every day. That'll be cool. I'm gonna be fucking miserable just fucking being here for 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours every fucking night. Um, anyway, was it yuck for eviction? Yeah. I will say through this episode, I think I think Chuck's kind of a fun character to a degree. Mainly because he is so bad. Like it is kind of like Joe Hunter coded, um, in the fact that he is like, he's like kind of deluded and he like says some funny things to where, I don't know. It's like I do kind of find him funny, but also I still do want him out though. Yeah, the Thog song now exists. Thank God. Um, Chuck is as much of a dud as Barrett. Mm, debatable. Um, Struck my side daddy? Sure. That's what we can call him, I guess. That was a Challenge 42 episode. I thought it was like a solid episode in terms of like the things that happened, but it was another episode that just felt very weirdly edited. Um, Particularly like I felt like the daily just felt like such an afterthought, which like to be fair, I'm not like opposed to. Like it's not like I'm like I don't fucking love the dailies on the challenge to begin with, but like I don't know, it's like part like it definitely like it feels very different this season to previous. And it's like in some ways, well actually to be fair, I think in almost every way good or neutral. Um but I don't like it does feel like the editing is very choppy. It feels like it's like the opposite like issue of previous seasons where I feel like the most recent seasons have been like too bloated. Um where I feel like this season's just kind of like again, it's just like jumping all over the place, but either way, it's fine. I think it was probably no, actually no. Like okay, if I'm ranking the 4 shows that I watched today, I would say it's the four or it's the third best of the 4. Um, I would say Big Brother was 1, probably. I don't know. Again, a bit long, but also still very good episode. Um, Traders AU was 2. Then I would say Challenge, and then I would say Amazing Race Canada, which is Amazing Race Canada. It was more of the show that has them doing a race that they call amazing around Canada. um, yeah, daily. Yeah, I wonder if like, I wonder what the budget was for this season. Actually, I wonder if they decreased the budget for the season or, like, I would assume probably right. Like, considering we're getting a smaller cast to begin with. Um, like if I were to guess, I would say they probably took like a little bit of a hit. Um, like budget wise. Tar winning predictions, I could not care enough. Um, Generally, I don't think I can name a single team outside of Eamon and Beth and Beck because I know them from outside of the Amazing Race. Um, what were the Asian twins sisters? Tina and Liz, is that their names? It feels like they're like the main characters of the show. Um, Knowing Amazing Race Canada, though, it's probably going to be the 2 like Quebec brothers or whatever, because they feel like a very Amazing Race Canada coded team. That's Amazing 39 cast. It's a cast that exists. I generally have no thoughts on it. It's those are people. Um, Decrease the budget would probably help the challenge. Yeah, genuinely. Like the sisters, yeah. Yeah, they're fine. I think they're like, I think they're probably the two that stand out the most from this cast. Thoughts on Haley this episode? Incredible TV. I have a feeling Haley's gonna want nothing to do with Big Brother after the show. But while we have her, fun TV. Like Haley definitely feels like the type of person that like post show she goes on like rants about how like they made this look so much worse than what it really was. Yeah, they gave me such a bad edit. Oh yeah, that was something I found interesting that they're doing the. It's like Amazing Race Canada did that this season. I don't know if other series have done it also. I would assume probably. But yeah, Amazing Race 39 starting with every team have Express Pass, which I actually like that. I think that's actually a cool like concept or whatever. It's nothing like groundbreaking or anything, but I think it's a cool little bit of strategy you can add to it. Yeah, the feeds don't show everything. Yeah, that sort of thing. I did see that they were Haley's Instagram went private already, so that's also not a great sign. Tar 1 had everyone had a fast forward that they could use at one point. And actually, that's the way it was for first 4 seasons, right? I think Tar 5 was the time they changed that. Which, and this is different. I mean, like fast forward essentially like wins you the leg. Like this is just you get to skip the like whatever task you're doing, like one of the tasks. And also it's like it's not limited to 1 per episode in the way that like the fast forward is. It's limited to 1 per task in Canada at least. I don't know if the US is going to follow that. I mean, they should probably. Because I do think that also adds in the interesting dynamic of like obviously only the first person can do it, so it's like you have to like specifically think about like, okay, are other people going to do it also, or like want to do it? But yeah, like I think it's an interesting concept. I did like on Amazing. Generally from Amazing Race Canada, that's been the only thing that stood out for me from this season. Even though like it's pretty much gone already, right? Like, has it really? It played a factor in the first couple episodes, but it feels like at this point it's pretty much like a non-factor. But yeah. Yeah, Trader U was kind of crazy. Also, probably just further support that Henrik sucks. But yeah, are all of them used by now? I knew at least most of them were used. I'll be honest, I'm that way for Amazing Race Canada as well. I just don't care, dude. I'm at the point where I'm watching at 2 times speed. Like it just kind of sucks. I'll be honest. Like I'm considering I probably won't even watch next season, unless it has like someone I care about. Where I just generally don't like the show at this point. It's like why am I watching this? Like I'll finish this season just because I've already started it, and I can watch it at 2 times speed. But yeah, Amazing Race Canada just kind of sucks. 2 times speed's way too slow for Amazing Race Canada. That's fair. And you go 3 times. If only they let you. I'd have to download the file and then speed it up myself. That's too much work. Yeah, early. I mean, like, obviously, I'm not saying like Tarkan in general is bad. It's just that recent Tarkan has been bad. Where yeah, the early seasons were pretty good. Like 1, 2 were good. 3 was fine. 4 and 5 were good. 6 was bad. 7 was good. 8 was bad. Was 8, 9 were bad. 10 and 11 were fine. I wouldn't say good. I would say they're fine. Like they're watchable. This season's been a drag though. Like this season, there's just like nothing of note happening. You would expect Devon's on Tar 40. I wouldn't be shocked. Would make sense. Yeah, Tarkan 9 is probably the most dreadful. I don't even think I can name a single. Actually, no. Actually, can I even name the winners? What are the winners' names? I know they were like one of the most dominant teams ever, but tie in something, right? Um, yeah, I just hate like it just feels like propaganda. Like it generally feels like I'm watching like Canadian propaganda when watching Amazing Race Canada. Um, it feels like the purpose of the show is just to convince you how great Canada is at every little fucking thing. Uh, Rick Devens goes on the challenge. I would not be shocked if Rick Devens ended up on like challenge, like if they did some sort of challenge USA 3 or something, that Rick Devens ends up on it. Unproper would be kind of insane. Um, but you never know. I'm trying to say Canada's not great. I don't think it's that much better than other places. I think the genuine answer is that no place is great. But yeah, hates Canada. I mean, I technically hate everywhere, so that's not untrue. I think Devins can outrun CT right now. There's a shot. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if season 11 was there. I mean, there was what were their names? Ebb and Blake. They were like villainous figures, right? On 11. And then on 10 we had like Kevin and Gerline who were like villains. This season doesn't really have there's like no villainous figures at all on this season. It's like we had that like feud between the two women teams. I don't remember their names. But like that doesn't go anywhere either. And like the other team's gone already. It's like it's just, there's nothing happening on this season. Remember the Amazing Race Heroes season I didn't watch? Well, there you go. Yeah, I knew they started with C. I didn't know what their names actually were. But yeah, Amazing Race Canada. Like, what's actually most depressing about it is that Amazing Race Canada is like the highest rated reality show in Canada. It's like the highest rated show of the summer, right, in Canada, which it's like that's fucking depressing, dude. Like, this is the show that you guys are fucking watching. Then again, I fucking cover Big Brother for so I mean, but still, yeah, MasterChef Canada, is MasterChef Canada good? I generally couldn't tell you. Happy Wall Comp Wednesday, yeah, sure. Yeah, again. Actually, I forgot. Like, Keisha and Nova were also like supposed to be eliminated before, right? Like, they were supposed to be eliminated back when the first two boots. I forgot the first boot. Like that team like laid down their sword for them, right? And then they got saved by Anonymous, and then now they're finally out. But it's like, fuck me, dude. Yeah. I think we will jump into the power ranking fairly soon. In terms of like new stuff, there's not much new going on Big Brother wise. Since last stream, obviously we got an episode. It was funny to see they posted the unedited Angela Haley fight on Twitter. Like, that was very funny. Yeah, how have I been talking about Tar Canada for 10 minutes? That is true. I kind of forgot Traders Canada exists. That's coming back soon, right? That's been in a couple months. They still won't do rewinds? What are we talking about? Hey, watch it. What, the fight? Let's see if I can find it again. Let's see. It's gonna get claimed, but also it's like I'm not making money off this anyway. By the way, last stream got claimed. Oh, was it not on their Twitter? It was on their Instagram? It was on something. Or is it Pluto TV? I think it was Pluto TV that posted it. Didn't they? Wait, I saw it on Twitter. Who the fuck posted it on Twitter? Who posted it on Twitter? This is gonna bother me now. But it's like almost every fucking word's a curse word. I'm generally just scrolling through Twitter, assuming it would just show up, and it just hasn't. Instead, I'm fucking seeing the same fucking the stuff from yesterday. the what do you even call it? What were they like? The thing that they were doing, the Mallory and they were yelling. By the way, I have downloaded that, so that's definitely gonna be in the review. The fapping. Oh, Fap made the show, but like not really, but also kind of did. That's funny. Is this it? Dude, what the fuck? How have I not found it by now? Like, I've literally, like, I saw it, like, right away last time I went on Twitter. So it's not showing the fuck up. Let me see. Go history. Okay, you found it? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so these are both it, right? Okay. This one, this.
Ms. D here too as well.
What do you mean lie about her?
Like, did you mention that D was the one who
Stole in this house.
What did
that
you
on
say
everything.
upstairs to me?
Starts where?
Lying.
Oh, here. This is where it starts.
You're fucking lying.
Upstairs on the balcony?
She's a fucking liar. Right the fuck now. You are a fucking liar, Haley.
Hey, Angela?
Fuck no, did I say that, D? Fuck no, Haley. I never. I'm coming clean about the vote, but fuck you for
This is so being used in the review.
doing that. Good on you, though, Haley. Now you just made me an enemy. Now you just did that.
Angela.
I would not do
Angela.
that. Fuck that shit.
Angela.
Fuck that shit. I did
Just the way she says "fuck that shit" is very funny to me.
not do
There's
that.
a way to under.
I did not.
Angela.
We were
Fuck you,
talking
Haley.
about him
Fuck
and
you,
him.
Haley. Fuck you, Haley.
We just need some time.
Yeah,
No, we
sorry.
don't. This is Joe. Come here.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Come here. Fuck that. No. Come here.
go.
Fuck that.
Angela.
Fuck that. You guys all know me. I did.
I mean, does that make it better? Like when Angela says "you all know me," it's like I feel like that's incriminating yourself more than anything.
Fucking
Hold
did
on,
you
this is
not
a bad
believe
idea.
that? That's a bitch move, Haley. You want me to start spilling your secrets now?
No.
It's coming.
No.
If you want to do that to me,
Angela.
I did
You're
not
not
do
gonna do
that.
Relax.
You're not
I
gonna
didn't
do
do
that.
that, Chuck.
Okay.
I didn't do that. Come on, I didn't do that, Haley. I didn't do that, Yash. Haley, how could you say something like that? It's malicious lies. There's no
She just said, do you trust Steve? Do you
But yeah, that's so getting used. No Thog is the new fucking Kelly. Y'all just half asleep the entire time. Yeah, and that's pretty much him in the entire season. What Haley lie about that? That D or that Angela told Haley it was D that was the other vote. Though, like, I don't know, it's a fucking weird situation because like it's a spot where like Haley doesn't even claim, like, so based on what we saw, it seems like Haley is lying, but like also not, kinda. I don't know. It's like, so she's lying, like she's talking to DR as if she's lying, and like she's definitely exaggerating the truth, but also Angela does kind of do it. So it's like, I don't know I don't know if like, did Haley make it up yet it actually is a thing that also did happen, or is it genuinely just a spot where yeah, or like is it Haley like lying in the DR for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, it's like she's definitely making it seem worse. But like also Angela did technically do the thing that Haley said she did. Is Haley even more fucked? I mean, this was a while. This was like, when was this? Like on Saturday? Like this is their first, or not their first fight, but like, I guess. This was a while ago. Either way, it was during the weekend. In terms of right now, Haley is still seemingly fucked. There again, like we saw literally last week, the votes flipped last second. It wouldn't shock me if something happened to that nature. That they decide to vote out Chuck instead of Haley. But like either way, Haley's fucked though. like even if Haley survives this week, again, she's just like the Mickey at this point. Where like her days are numbered. She's going out. Okay, maybe that's actually that's a bit fucked to say out of context. But like in terms of like where again, like Haley's just like a dead man. Okay, that's also fucked. Yeah, Haley's game is over. It's just a matter of when. Yeah, not the greatest wording there. Haley is better than you. Love the format of immunity challenge. Then you're talking about the what are you calling? They're doing the bus thing again. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that they tried to get Haley and Chuck in on it. Thank God. Because I definitely need to see Chuck doing it. I just think Barrett isn't winning the blockbuster, so it's mostly down. Yeah, that is fair. Yeah. I mean, again, Barrett almost won the veto. I mean, he beat both Haley and Chuck in that, so that's something. We do need more Chuck time. Chuck time's definitely gonna be a big part of the review too. I feel like I had to use Chuck time. Genuinely, I might actually just use a lot of Chuck. Just because I think it's funny. And again, I actually do think Chuck is kind of funny. What the fuck is Chuck? Chuck said when he got picked for the veto last week, he said, "It's Chuck time." Because, again, that's Chuck for you. More Chuck in the review than the show? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there was the shot. Like, so he literally just learned like last week, right? That they're being recorded 24/7. Like he just didn't know that for some reason. So he's just like awkwardly just stares at the camera before eventually like saying like shout out to his mom and everything. Like that's such an awkward clip. This is why I love our hap. They turn bits into the funniest shit. Yeah. What was the other Chuck stuff from this episode? Well, like I have some in the stream title. He said, "I feel buffooned." That was the thing he said, right? Which, yep, that's definitely a word. And then he said that I forgot what but anyway, he said that he's gonna cause World War Big Brother. Sure, Chuck will definitely do that. Chuck is gonna cause World War Big Brother. That is definitely a thing Chuck is gonna do. Loki want Chuck to stay. I don't, but I've kind of like ironically kind of like Chuck at this point. I actually, the thing that's funny is I actually I like Chuck less as a person. Like I think Chuck at this point is like, yeah, dude, him, the confessional with that was also the confessional when he's talking to Lala. What did he say? That this old lady something like that's a crazy thing to say. Where yeah, I think Chuck's like less likable as a person, but also is still kind of a funny character at this point. Actually, I do want to see what Chuck clips come up if you look up Chuck Big Brother. Yeah, again, he's kind of Joe Hunter coded at this point. I just have to double check there's no porn because it's fucking Twitter. What is this clip? Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Like, what is, dude? This is an insane clip. This might be used in the review.
Truly, that old lady is very delusional. Truly, that old lady is very delusional. Truly, that old lady is very delusional. Truly, that old lady is very delusional.
I'm not gonna use the fucking clip of his musty pubes. That's not what I'm gonna use. Yeah, truly, that old lady is very delusional. What a line. This is also.
I am like buffoon. I am like buffoon.
Also, yeah, this was insane too.
MMA versus AARP.
That was insane. Oh, I forgot about actually. This is a good source for clips, isn't it? This Twitter account, because they post a lot of clips from a season, right? This I found this cringe.
Yeah, I believe you have a prompt.
Also, I love how like they just didn't explain it on the show. That felt very not Big Brother of them. Did not explain this. Like, I guess like from Alison Grodner's mind, it's like, oh, that's just such an iconic clip. We don't even need to show it. Like, we don't even need to give context. People just know. People just like instantly know. I believe you have a prompt. It was cringe in person. That is true. Yeah, this was an insane cut also. What other clips are there? I might scroll through this Twitter account to look for clips for the review. Yeah, this is definitely in the review. I already have that one now. This is insane also. Yeah, what is this?
He's the oldest one in the house and all this other stuff. It's just like, girl, you are. You shouldn't be here.
This is the
You're over 26.
Oh, I thought it was a different clip. I was thinking it was the was it being married to kids doesn't make you a better person?
Go home to your children.
Hold on, I'm older.
No, but you look younger.
Oh, I do look older.
Let's be honest. Talking about she's 40, she's 41. Let's be honest.
Definitely not losing their minds in there. They're having fun, clearly. Is this gonna make the this better make the show in some way? How do you even set this up, show-wise?
A tornado.
They're boarding.
This isn't looking good.
it can't be a tornado.
Get close together. To Brooklyn, New York City. Everybody get down! Oh shit! There's someone with a gun! There's someone with a gun!
Same. What is it?
Okay, everyone, this plane is now going to crash. This plane is going to...
Yeah, I probably will start the actual power ranking in a second. What is this clip? Yep. That was definitely a necessary clip. This is where he didn't shout me out. The bastard. He's like definitely expected to be shouted out.
Ready, because I didn't think anybody would fuck it up. So
I was saying they're talking about Caitlin Herman. Anyway. That's fine. This. Alright, we're gonna do the power ranking. Hear what Kamu said about Melody. I saw one, yeah, there was like a fucked up quote, right? Of like like, I don't even know if I want to repeat it, but yeah, I did see that, which sounds about right for Kamu. I'm never doing a MasterChef player ranking. I did see Drew being a snake. But yeah, all right. Power ranking. Actually, I just realized that's kind of, yeah, like, it is kind of insane that, like, we are actually that close to the midway point in the season. That we've actually done, like, this many power rankings already. Anyway. All right. Power ranking for Big Brother 28, week 5, after the Wednesday episode. A lot. Generally, I don't even. I'm gonna restart that, by the way. But anyway, like, I'll be honest. Like, at this point, I don't even know what the power ranking is. Like, this is just gonna be kind of a mess. Like, I really don't feel like there's a super solid, like, yeah, like, way to rank people at this point, because the house is just so fluid. But whatever. Anyway, all right, restart. Power ranking after the Wednesday episode of week 5 of Big Brother 28. Where are we starting? Latrice, number 1. Latrice is not doing that great, genuinely, at this point, but she's number 1 with the people so far. Yeah, I feel a lot worse about Latrice now than I did during the last power ranking. And in general, I feel like that side I feel a lot less confident in, where, like, obviously I had Latrice, Taylor, Yash all pretty high last time. Where at this point, it does feel like that's kind of the losing side. I feel like that's the side I'm expecting to be targeted next week. And yeah, again, like, at least for Lala, like, she's not being targeted herself. Though it's not impossible she ends up on the block. And again, with Veto and Blockbuster, it's not impossible she can go home. Like, if she's on the block against, like, Taylor or Yash, Taylor wins Veto, Yash wins Blockbuster, like, again, I don't know if they feel like it's worth it to vote out Lala, but, like, Lala would be in danger. So I don't feel great about that. Also, I don't love how Lala has been. Actually, it's kind of like a double-sided thing where, like, so she's been giving a lot of information to Angela, and I like it in the fact that, like, she's obviously securing this relationship with Angela, and I do think Angela's someone that would want to take her fairly deep into the game. And for Angela, it's probably, like, one of her better scenarios at the end. The problem is that Lala's, like, kind of throwing Taylor under a bus by doing so, and that's kind of, like, harming, like, the positioning of her side, where it felt like for a lot of this week, it was, like, a lot of this week at this, like, especially post Veto ceremony, once it became pretty clear that, like, a Haley or Chuck are going home, it feels like a lot of this week at this point is just setup. A lot of it's just kind of setting up dynamics for moving forward, where we have, like, these essentially 3 factions, right? We have the Lala, Taylor, Yash faction, we have the Icons, and we have Fab. And it was more so like a battle of, like, which of these 2 groups are going to come together. And for a lot of this week, it did feel like the Taylor, Yash, Lala side were the side that was in, like, that had the most options. Like, they were targeting the vets. They also had, like, connections with, like, Dee and Devins and Angela. But, like, at this point, again, the fact that they're targeting the vets has been exposed. It does feel like they're the primary targets for the vets. And the vets and FAP have kind of consolidated a bit at that point, to where it's not looking great. I mean, like, ultimately the power structure of the season is still very fluid, to where it wouldn't shock me if this completely changes, especially if we have, like, a Taylor or a Yash HOH next. But yeah, I'm not feeling great about Lala. I still do think she's one of the least likely to win the game. It does feel like, even though, again, it's probably better for her jury-wise than what it was at the beginning of the week before she won HOH. I still don't feel like it's enough. It still feels like she's just the beta and submissive to to Taylor. But genuinely, like, I just don't think people look at her as a serious player still. I think people still more so associate what she's doing with Taylor. And I do think she'd have a difficult time winning a jury vote, but at least it's more possible now than before. But again, not feeling great about her. I assume she'll be lower than last time by the end. And with that, Mallory, number 1. Mallory also isn't in the greatest spot in the world, but it seems like she's on the winning side right now. Emphasis on right now. I do think an issue is the fact that it does seem like Taylor, Yash, Lala have kind of backed down on targeting the vets and probably would go for FAP at this point, which is obviously not ideal for Mallory. I'm not sure if Mallory is the person they target within that. But it's obviously still not good for her. Like, the fact that the icons have now become essentially the middle again is really not good for either side. But I do think Mallory, obviously Mallory has the odds, right? Like, first up, her group is bigger than the other side anyway. I guess it's debatable because the other side technically has Kamu, but yeah, it's like, again, FAP versus the Taylor Alliance. Like, they both have like equal numbers within each other, but then it does seem like the icons are siding towards FAP. So it's like, that does give Mallory the edge there. And yeah, within FAP, I think Mallory's in a decent spot. It feels like she's possibly the best competitor of the bunch. I mean, it's probably between her and Drew. I do think she's the most likely to win a jury vote, where it seems like people genuinely like her and they, for the most part, do respect her. I think they at least look at her as like a scrappy player. Like, I think she would definitely win over Melody. I think she would win over Barrett at this point. Again, I think Drew would be a little bit more debatable, but still, I do think Mallory's in a better spot than what she was last stream, where it felt like last stream FAP was on the bottom, where now it feels like FAP isn't on the bottom, but also I don't think her, like, I still don't think FAP not being on the bottom is secure enough to really give her, like, too much credit. So, yeah, again, she's number 1 of the people so far, but I don't think she's going to be too much higher than what she was the last couple power rankings. Melody. I think Melody at this point is the Latrice of her side, in the fact that I think she's probably the person that has the least amount of win equity, also has the least amount of options from her side. Also, I think would probably struggle in a jury vote. I think I would lean below Latrice. Genuinely, like, I don't know. It's like, I guess Melody's, like, again, seemingly on the winning side, but, like, I do feel like Melody has, like, less overall connections. At least Lala, again, still has a connection with, like, Angela. And does have a pretty good bond with, like, a Kamu. Has something with Dee, even though that's not real, but again, like, yeah, she at least has, like, a couple people, right? Melody, it's like, outside of her group, she's not really that close to anybody. Like, she really just has, like, the Drew, Mallory, Barrett group, and then outside that, it's like, she's loosely connected to the vets at this point, but, like, not because she actually has, like, actual relationships with them. And then, yeah, even on the opposing side, she doesn't really have much going on there. So yeah, it's like, I really like Melody and I would love her to do well, but I don't really see it. Where it feels like she's one of the least insulated players on the cast, but it's just a spot where, like, people aren't targeting her. Like, she's definitely, like, she's the smallest target of the entire FAP Alliance. Then again, if she's on, like, if it's a spot where they're targeting Drew and Drew wins veto, I could see a spot where that being a spot where Melody goes home by accident by the end. Like I could see a spot where like the vets pick Barrett over Melody, right? Like it's definitely viable that Melody could go home, even though she's looked at as like the least threatening of the bunch. So I go at 3. Devins, I mean, it's an easy one of the people so far. I think we'll have a bit more to talk about when we get to D, and like obviously just spoiler, D and Devins are going to be 1 and 2. Like that should be undeniable. The order I think is more interesting right now, but Rick, I mean, generally Rick's position hasn't really changed that much since last time. I do continue to just really question how Rick is approaching the game right now, where I really just don't like the fact that he is so, like, of all the people, he's the person that's the most anti-FAP of the icons, which is kind of insane, considering FAP is actually he's the person that benefits the most from FAP. So, like, I think it's frustrating to see him being so willing to like cut Drew and like actively want to like take out Drew, when it's like that's just so misguided. Like Drew, like literally Drew and Barrett were talking about how like we can take a vet to the end and win against them. They were like they want, like, yeah, it seems like they're open to taking the vets to the end, where like the fact that Devins wants to cut Drew at this point is still insane. Beyond that, he's still probably the most connected player in the house. Mind you, a lot of those connections are kind of loose connections, where like, and again, I think this is the debate between him and D, is that I think D has a lot more like number 1, number 2 connections, like people that she's like super close to, where like Devins has a lot of like, he has like Drew, where he's like probably Drew's like what, number 3. He has like a Barrett where he's also probably Barrett's like number 3, number 4 or so. He has Taylor, where he's maybe Taylor's like 4 or 5. Like obviously like D's is number 1. Angela's probably is like number 2. But like outside of the icons, he has like a lot of like connections, but not a lot of like really tight connections. And that's something I do worry about for Rick, but ultimately he still has the Diamond Power veto. And while he is, like, and there definitely are people that would want to target him, a lot of that has kind of subsided by this point, right? Like, I mean, Lala, Yash, we're talking about targeting Devins. That's kind of gone nowhere at this point. And again, even if they do, he has a Diamond Power veto. So, and again, I still have a lot of faith in him to win a lot of comps in the end game, win at the end. Yeah, he's still one of the front runners, obviously. D and Angela have an alliance with Taylor, and Law doesn't include him. Yeah, but for Devins has an alliance with Taylor that doesn't include. Actually, does include D now. I generally don't know the status of the Tethers alliance anymore. It didn't include D for a while. I think maybe D is included in it now, but I don't know. Yeah, former alliance with Yash and Kamu. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Kamu connection. Which, yeah, Kamu also. It's like he has a close bond with Kamu. I'm not sure where exactly they stand within each. Like I would say he's probably Kamu's 3rd or 2nd. Like I would say like with Kamu, it's like I think Kamu's closest ally is Yash, and then after that, it's probably D or Devins. So yeah, it's like yeah, again, Devin has a lot of connections in the game. Yeah, I'll lean Devins more, especially considering Devins like was more upfront about the and like again, D did a lot of good work to win Kamu back. But it's still her having to win him back, right? So where like I feel like with Devins, he doesn't really feel betrayed by Devins when Devins like was just being honest with him from the beginning. And they just had a better relationship from before that anyway. So yeah, I would lean Devins above D for Kamu, but yeah. Taylor. I think this is kind of the crux point of the ranking is where do I go with Taylor? Because generally, I think Taylor's probably the most likely boot for next week. However, if she survives that, she's also a very viable winner. Like if Taylor gets to the end, especially against like a Lala or like anyone that isn't like an icon, I think Taylor has a very good shot of winning that. The problem is that I think her path is very turbulent right now. I think her path is one where it just feels like she's the number one target for next week. Like, again, she lost the icons. FAP is now going after that grouping as well. To be fair, with FAP, last I've seen at least, they're targeting Kamu. But if the icons are protecting Kamu, then Taylor would be the other person, right? Taylor's not getting nominated by anyone but Dee and Angela, though. I think she would get nominated by Devins. Like, who else would Devins nominate? I guess he would nominate, what, Chuck? Like, he would have to nominate her, right? There's not many options for like, a Devins. Generally, actually, I forgot about Chuck still being there. To where, like, maybe with Chuck still there, that does kind of alleviate Taylor a bit. But still, I do think the vets, like, again, I think Dee and Angela definitely want Taylor out. And I think whatever they push is the most likely thing to happen. Wouldn't shock me if, like, Taylor ends up being backdoored by the end of the week, even if it comes down to that. It's like, I do think Taylor's in a lot of danger. She does have room, though. Like, yeah, it's not like she's dead to rights already. But I don't feel great about her position right now. I think she survives over any of the guys. I don't think she does. I think it comes down to what the vets want. I think that's generally what this game is at right this point. I think it's whatever the vets want happens. And I do think Dee and Angela want Taylor out. Again, the question is, will that stick? But again, like, whatever Dee, Angela, Devins want, they're going to be able to get Barrett and Drew on board, and that's just what's going to happen. I do think if Taylor's on the block by the end of next week, I think she is in a lot of danger. So I don't feel great about Taylor. I'll go with 3. I'll go with 3. I think at the end of the day, it's still like a recoverable position. It's one that she will have, like, I think she will have a lot of win if she gets there. Devins threatened a dime power veto to put Taylor on the block. Taylor's going home. Yeah, I mean, that's an option too. Where obviously, like, Devins has a relationship with Taylor, but, like, it's still a spot where, like, again, if Angela and Dee are pushing him to do that, like, Devins is back down, like, pretty much every single fucking time. Yeah. Yash, I also think is in a very rough position. No one knows that Devins well, Dee knows. I think pretty much everyone assumes Devins has a power. No one knows what the power is outside of Dee. And then when it comes to Dee's power, only Kamu and Devins know at this point, right? She never told Angela, right? Yeah, Yash, I think I'm going to go at least 3. I would put him below Mallory at this point. I think Yash is another, like, potential target for the vets next week. He's kind of been caught, like, playing the middle. Like, he's been caught, like, with the conversations of, and again, like, good work on Drew and Barrett. Even though, again, they can be frustrating at points, I do think they did very effective work in throwing, like, Taylor and Yash under the bus while, like, protecting Mallory and Melody. To where, again, as of right now, from what I understand, like, the vets do want Taylor or Yash out next week. I feel like Yash would go for Taylor. Maybe? Don't know. I would lean... I think I am leaning Yash below Taylor. I don't know. I think the thing about Yash is that he does have Kamu. And I think that might be a saving grace for him. is that, again, if I were to guess right now, I would say Kamu's number one ally is Yash. Like, I think that's the person that he's intending to, like, ride with for sure. But yeah, like, if he's on the block at the end of next week, it's like he would be a pretty ripe target for, like, Dee and Angela. Yeah, but Lala is not powerful in the game. Like, what I mean is that Kamu has influence in the game. Lala has no influence in the game. Like, Kamu has leverage with the vets to, like, push them to keep Yash around. Lala has no leverage with the vets. She is 58. That is true. I think Queen Lala's running the game. No, I don't. Shockingly. Can't believe it, right? I think Mallory said she would do D over Yash because I think Chuck is pretty fucking... We're talking about D as a nominee, or as a target. As a target, I think even if she did want to do that, I think she probably would be, like, attempted to be talked down by Barrett and Drew. Yeah, nominee, yeah. Which, yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, even if Dee's on the block, she's not in any danger, though, right? Where I could see Devon's just using the Diamond Power Veto on her anyway. Will the best try to take out Yash to weaken Kamu? I could see it. Definitely would make sense. Would probably be the right move, to be honest. But yeah, I'll give Yash above Taylor for now. I think Yash and Taylor are kind of in a very similar spot. They're kind of in the same corner of the game. They're both, like, potential targets for the vets next week, but they also both have runway in the case they survive that. So yeah. Then we're moving on to Angela. Okay. Angela is one of the safest players in the game still. I don't think there's anyone that would legit go after Angela. Like, obviously, Haley is still upset at Angela. If Haley stays, wins HOH, does she nominate Angela? Maybe, probably. Does Angela go home? Probably not. I do think Angela's win equity has taken a bit of a hit. Not necessarily based on, like, things we've seen. Like because I think for the most part, the house does side with Angela, right? Like, when it comes to the Haley Angela stuff, like, the house is backing Angela in this situation. However, I think it does still continue to show Angela just being the same Angela, to where I think it's, like, tougher to reward a player like that at the end. And again, I still want to dock Angela for, and maybe too fair, that was more what this is, but, like, the fact that she, like, lost Haley and now is letting Haley go is kind of insane. Like, that's so bad for Angela. Where, like, that was such a prime, like, generally that was, like, a golden ticket to a win for Angela, is having a Haley that was willing to take her to the end. To where the fact that she lost Haley now, and now is kind of just more reliant on, like, D with, like, an outside shot of Lala. I don't love that. But again, she's not in any danger. Yeah, Chuck still goes. And just going down the trajectory of Felicia. Yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing as well. With also just a shot of actually just getting to the end and losing. Dee and Devon's are the jury. Will they advocate for her? I don't know if they will. I think it depends on who she's up against. I don't think they just I think they would rather vote for Kamu than Angela. Like, if it's, like, Angela and, like, Melody, I think they advocate for Angela. If it's, like, Angela and, like, Chuck or Haley or something. But, yeah, I think Devon's definitely doesn't. Dee might. But, no. Dee didn't vote for Jonathan. Yeah, but Dee didn't like Jonathan by the end of the season. At this point, Dee actually really likes Kamu. So yeah, we'll have to see where that relationship plays out. Like, again, if it like goes like severely downhill and they hate each other by the time they leave, obviously, yeah, maybe Dee doesn't vote for him. But I think as of right now, she just generally likes Kamu and thinks he's like one of the best players in the season. But yeah, Angela, I think I'm gonna go 3. I think I'm gonna go below Mallory because yeah, as of right now, I do feel like Mallory is fairly safe. In like obviously less safe than Angela is, but also I feel like Mallory has a lot more win equity than Angela. So, I think I'll go with that. Barrett. Barrett's on the block still, but he's also like pretty much lock safe. Like he generally might be one of the most like lock safe nominees in this like blockbuster era, especially like this early on in the season. I think a struggle I have with Barrett is I do still feel like he's on a bad path. From what I'm seeing, like he's safe, like he's been safe for most of the season, and he's still safe even when he's on the block here. He's safe. However, I think now that he's been used as a pawn, I think there's definitely a lot of like chances for him to be used as a potential pawn moving forward. Also, I just don't think he's that well respected. Like people like him, but like I don't think I don't think most players in the house like really think of him as that good of a player. Like I think like Taylor, Lala, and like Yash, that grouping like kind of just looks at him as a floater that's not doing anything. Like obviously like again Drew, Melody, Mallory, if they like end up 3 people on the jury, like maybe their votes for him. But and like I don't know, maybe he can get D in situations. So like it's not like he's drawing dead or anything, but like I just generally don't think he's looked at as that good of a player. And yeah, I think he's enabling the vets too much. Again, the fact that and again, from what I understand, Drew led that conversation more than Barrett did, but Barrett agreed with it. The fact that they were like, yeah, we can get to the end of the vets and like we can beat them in a jury vote. When it's like, I don't feel like that's the case. Like I generally don't feel like that's the trajectory we're on with this season. It doesn't feel like there's this like massive anti-vet sentiment. Like obviously there's some, but like not to the point that there wasn't like BB14 where like pacts were being made of like we can't let a vet win. To where I do think if like Barrett got together with Devins, I think Devins just clearly wins. Against D probably wins too. It's like I don't think. Okay, I think Barrett's in a rough spot, especially if that actually is what he's trying to do of going to the end of the vets. So not feeling great about that, but to be fair, that's a criticism of a lot of people. I think I'll give him 4 just because he is on the block right now. Like I think the way I'm looking at him is that like Mallory and Angela, I think are pretty safe for this next round. I think Barrett is also that, but he is technically on the block right now, so I put him at the bottom of that. But then again, I guess like, is there really? I do think he's safer than Melody, right? Should there really be that big of a gap between him, Melody, and Latrice? But, like, he does have crossovers. He does have FAP. He's involved in more things. So, whatever. I'll give him that. They think this is BB14? Yeah. Which, like, I don't know if they just don't have, like, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, especially Drew, doesn't have, like, a full understanding of, like, how bad BB14 was. Oh my god, we're at Chuck time. We're finally here. Chuck. Number 9. It's Chuck time. He's last. He's going home. If he doesn't win, or if Haley wins Blockbuster, he might actually go home even if Haley doesn't win Blockbuster. Or if Barrett, I guess, if he wins Blockbuster, obviously he's safe. But either way, if even if he's on the block against Haley, I would not be shocked if the vote flips tomorrow. Like Like, I just don't think anyone genuinely cares about Chuck at this point in the game. It's like, yeah, there's people like a Taylor, Lala that did want to, like, keep him around as, like, a number. But, like, he has no one actually genuinely wanting to keep him around. Hope it's a rope comp. Who would win the rope comp? I feel like Chuck would win the rope comp, wouldn't he? Like, he's kind of Keanu coded. Where he's like despite being a bulky guy, he's like kind of agile. We're like, yeah, I feel like I would give the edge to Chuck, though. Haley would also have, yeah, Barrett would not win at all. But Haley demolishes? I don't know if Haley demolishes. Ball comp? Yeah, I feel like that would be a good thing for Haley. Like, we're talking about the... Actually, which ball comp? I was thinking of the... Actually, is that balls? The one that you drop them into the tube. I was thinking of that challenge. I feel like that's something that Haley probably would be good at. Actually, generally, maybe Barrett would be good at. He has, like, really long arms. Either way. Yeah, Chuck's going home. Also, I have just so much less faith in Chuck as a player. Again, like last week, I was feeling decent about Chuck, especially with like Kamu being like the #1 target from the red corner side at that point. Like I felt like it was Chuck time and that he was on the rise, but yeah, no, Chuck sucks. I think it's become abundantly clear through this week that he just generally isn't that, like, he's just generally not a good player at all. Because, like, I think beforehand it was a spot where, like, you could argue, okay, does he really need to be doing much? Like, he's like, yeah, he's probably more passing than I would like, but, like, he doesn't need to be doing that much. He's not in a lot of danger. He's just kind of fine in the game. But now we've seen him face adversity, and he just crumbles at the first instance. And, like comes off as a dick to Lala, and I don't know, he just sucks. But it is Chuck time, so at least there's that. But yeah, he's last. D. All right. I think most of these power rankings are essentially just coming down to like D versus Devins. And again, I still see so many power rankings having D1 and like talking about it as if it's a consensus #1. I generally don't understand it, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, D I think is possibly the most. Actually, I think I would say she's the most skilled player on this season. And it's obviously, like, coming from Survivor, like, you would have faith in D. But, like, just position-wise, again, I do think Devins having the Diamond Power Veto is something to give him the edge. I will say that I do think D... I think D's been doing a lot of good work this week. I think the way that she's pulled in Kamu again has been very good. I do think it's good that she has her head on straight of like targeting Yash and Taylor, who are the people that seem to be willing to target her, or at least were, to be fair. I guess at this point maybe not, but I think it's at least a more sound move. Even though actually, like, from a overhead view, maybe like Mallory would be the best target from her for her. But I do think Taylor is definitely one of the most anti-returnee people on the cast. So I think getting rid of her is not terrible. Kamu I said D is the most skilled player, which I still stand by that. Best player might be Kamu. I don't know. Like, so, okay, this is the way I'm, like, describing it. Like, when I say skilled player, I mean that I think D has the most, like, inherent skills for the game. The problem is that she's messy. And I think that, like, knocks her down a bit because of how messy she is. Where Kamu isn't as messy, but he also probably just isn't naturally as good. But he is still good. But, yeah. Yeah, I did see Melody stand up. It was pretty cringe in person. But anyway. Yeah, again, between D and Devins, something I do like about D is that I think D again, like I mentioned it already, didn't I? That like Dee has a lot more like really, really tight bonds, I feel like. Where like obviously she has Devins as a number one. She also has Angela as a number one. Yeah, I think her worker Kamu is like putting her higher on that pecking order as well. She has like Barrett as a potential number as well. Like I do feel like Dee does have a lot going for her in terms of that, especially if the icons run the table. At that, like if it's a Dee, Devins, Angela final three, it's like at that point Dee is the front. Like Dee would like obviously both people would be siding with Dee over each other. Generally that is something I thought about. Yeah, is this just Dee on 45 again? I think that actually is what we're seeing. I think Dee is literally just like structuring, like I think the game structure right now is generally just Survivor 45. Like it does feel like it feels like obviously the icons are to Reba 4, with Dee being the best position within that. She doesn't necessarily have the best individual relationships with the other groupings, but she, again, has like a tight bond here and there, like on 45 where she had like a tight bond with like Kelly, but like wasn't particularly close to like a Bruce or even like a Kendra. Or like people outside of her group or people within her group, like, so like, yeah, like Devins is like the person that has the connections, right, with the other side more than Dee does, but Dee is keeping her own power structure together, which is a power structure that benefits her. To where it feels like the like Taylor Yash side is probably more of the Bello group. That's their names, right? Where Fap is more of the like Emily Caleb like kind of side of things, or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know. Either way, Kamu's the Austin, kind of. I mean, generally, I think Devins is the Austin, but just obviously no romantic part of it there. Or yeah, maybe the Julie. What is Angela though? I feel like Angela's the Julie. Kamu or from Devins is the Austin. And I guess there's no Drew. Angela's the Katura, maybe. Then what? Like, is Kamu like? Maybe Kamu's the Drew. Actually, I don't know. I don't think Drew's the Drew. If anything, Drew is like the. I don't know. The Kendra or Kelly. I don't know. Who's the Kelly? I feel like Kamu feels like the Kelly, but also it's like I feel like she's more loyal to Kamu than she was to Kelly. So I don't know. Maybe like Taylor is the Kelly. I don't know. Oh, Barrett might be the Drew actually. Haley's the Sifu. I think like Chuck might be the Sifu. It's Sifu time. But yeah, I mean, Dee did talk about we're gonna like. From what I understand, Dee is planning on taking Kamu to Endgame. She's obviously not planning on taking him to the end, but from what I understand, the intention is that they want to use Kamu as a shield, and they're going to try to protect Kamu until like Endgame stretch, which is bad because Kamu could win out from that point on. Which I think it's a spot where, like, I think she's playing this too much like Survivor, where, again, like, carrying around a, like, meat shield like that is, like, fine on Survivor, because, like, there's less opportunities to save yourself by the end. But with Big Brother, it's, like, especially with comps being so lopsided, it's, like, I feel like Kamu's just gonna run the table at the end, but we'll see. Who's the Jake? Maybe Yash? I would say Yash or like Mallory let's say 1 to 2. Maybe Yash. Yeah, Kamu might be sniped out, which again we'll get to Kamu in a second. Or actually he's last, isn't he? But either way. Anyway, I think D is. I think I'm still gonna land on D2. Again, I have more faith in D as a player than Devins, but the fact that she is still loyal to Devins, and Devins has a Diamond Power veto, I'm still leaning. Like generally, I think I'm just in a spot where like I probably just lean Devins until the Diamond Power veto is gone, and at that point we have more of a serious conversation. But yeah, D2. Drew. Yeah, Tracer U was good. It was solid. Yeah. I'm not really sure what to do with Drew, actually. Drew, I think, is one of the more difficult spots here because, like, he definitely is in a better spot than what he was, like, a week ago. It does seem like he's kind of gotten back in with the vets to a degree. What's funny is that his biggest op is Devins, who's, like, in Drew's eyes, one of his closest allies, which is insane. But still, it's like, I do think Drew has been doing good work. Again, I do think how he leaked the information about the anti-returning meeting, I think was very good. It has gotten FAP in good standing with the vets. However, I still don't feel great about Drew long term. And I still do think Drew is pretty susceptible to being targeted fairly soon. Especially considering like him and Melody are still like a pretty open duo. We still have again the animosity from Devins for whatever reason. I think in general he's just looked at as a pretty sketchy player. But Drew's better than Sam from BB20. What the fuck are we talking about? Well, he still sucks though, or like he's not the greatest. I don't know. I'm thinking like mid here. I would say below Mallory. I think he has to be above Barrett, considering Barrett's literally on the block right now. Drew's a worse Corey, yes, for sure. Yeah, I think I'll go 5. I think I'll go spot, or maybe I'll go 4. 4 or 5. I'll go 4. I'll go 4. I have more faith in Drew to like. I generally feel it's more likely Drew can go on to win at this point than Angela. So I'll go 4. But Drew's definitely in a rockier position than Angela. Actually, okay, let me think about this. So if Taylor and Yash win HOH next week, who are they targeting? Like, they're probably putting, at this point, they're probably putting up, like, Chuck. And then are they doing, like, Drew and Barrett? Is that what they're doing? Which, if that's the case, then, like, that's not great for Drew. Like, I don't think Drew's anyone's, like, #1 target. Oh, I forgot about Devins. Yeah, Devins. Yeah, fuck, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. I'll go 4. I do think he's probably more danger than Angela and Barrett, but I probably have more faith in him to, like, maybe win at the end. Why is Mallory 3? Because Mallory's in a okay spot. Where are we at? Haley. Last. Yeah. Is there anything to say? Generally, it's like Haley obviously is still the most likely to go home. Even if she doesn't go home, I have no faith in her to recover beyond this. Like, at least Chuck is someone that, like, is such a nothing that they might just keep him around because he's just not as much of a threat. Haley is someone that's just so disliked that I think they're just going to continuously target Haley until she's gone. And even if she gets to the end, I have no faith in her to, like, win a jury vote. Like, I would have more faith in Chuck to turn something around to win a jury vote, even though I don't think that's likely either. And Haley's pretty dead in the water. I don't think her game's going anywhere, even if she stays. Yeah, the middle of the list is very up in the air. Like, generally, it's a spot where, like, I think top 2 is solid. I think bottom 4 is pretty solid. And I think everything else is like, very up in the air. Kamu. It's tough. Like, if we're going on faith for him to win the game, he's easily number 3. Like, he's like by far number 3. Like, I think Kamu is the most competent player that isn't a vet. However, there are people that do want to target him. I'm not putting Kamu at 1. What we're talking about. I think best case he's 3. There are people that do want to target him, though, and I think that is an issue. I mean, I think that would be an argument for why he would be below, like, a Mallory, at least, maybe even a Drew, is the fact that there are people that do want to target Kamu next week. And yeah, it's like most of the FAP Alliance wants to target him, and that's really bad. The thing is, I don't know if they can get Kamu out, is the thing. Where I think it, like, unless you get the vets on board, which it doesn't seem like the vets are on board right now, I think it's very difficult to get Kamu out. Where I think you need to go ahead of the vets, and last I've seen, the vets do actively want to keep Kamu around. But again, that could change. Literally a week ago, they did want Kamu out. So it's like, it very much can just, like, change on a dime. But I do feel like as of right now, he's not the, like, I feel like it's more likely for, like, a Taylor and a Yash to end up going home next week than a Kamu, in my mind. Plus, I feel like Kamu is such an endgame threat. I think he could definitely comp out until the end. I will say, I do think there could be some anti-Kamu sentiment by the end. I do feel like, again, just the way he operates in this game is one that I could definitely see a jury turning on him by the end. Like, the fact that he, like, comes up with reasons for every little thing, and it feels like him not really, like, owning up his game. Like, I could definitely see him, like, losing jury respect by the end. But I do think he's in a, like, I think he's in a fairly good spot as long as he has the vets on board. And I do think he has the vets on board right now. Like, he has the vets on board. He seemingly is locked in with, like, Taylor, Lala, and Yash. He seemingly is locked in with Yash in particular. Again, like, his big weakness in the game is the FAP Alliance. But again, it's a spot where, like, I just don't even know if they can get him out. So I think I will go 3. I think if it's a spot where I felt more confident he would go home if he was on the block, I would drop him to possibly even, like, 5 or 6. But, like, again, if you put a gun to my head and said, like, would Kamu go home if he was on the block, I would lean no right now. So, yeah, I'm going to keep him at 3, even though it's a very precarious 3. There. Yeah, that's power ranking. We got Angela staying the same. I think there's an argument Angela could be higher. I just have less faith in Angela to win this season at this point. But, like, position-wise, she is higher. But, again, I just don't think she's, like, I have no faith in her to actually do it. But maybe she can. Barrett's up, but that's because, again, he's pretty locked safe on the block. Chuck's the same. D's the same. Drew went up because it does look like the FAP Alliance is, yeah, 1 is the premiere, right after the premiere episode. 0 is the night when the feed yeah, Drew's higher because the FAP Alliance seems to be in the Icons corner right now. Haley's the same. Kamu's the same. Latrice went down. I'm surprised Melody went down here. I don't know. Should that be the case? Should Melody go down? I don't know if that sounds right, actually. That Melody goes down when, like, Drew goes up that much. But still, I don't have much faith in her to win the game at this point. But no. Mallory has gone up mainly because, again, it seems like her group is this is relatively safe and doesn't seem like she's the target either way. What was it? Taylor and Yash both are essentially in the same spot, both going down because, again, it feels like they are the targets for the vets. So yeah, that's the power ranking. I think Mallory should be lower. She's still talking about the biggest threat on FAP from the vets. I agree with that. I just don't feel like she's in any short-term danger. Which is why she's this high. But it's like, yeah, she obviously will eventually be in danger. But I do generally have more faith in Mallory to, like, somehow pull off the win than Angela at this point. And I don't feel like Drew... Like, I do think Mallory's in a better spot than Drew, personally. Review B28 like, add a preseason section, like, talking about returning rumors. And Levi, probably not, like, a section. I'll probably just, like, talk about it during the during the intro stuff. Like, I'll probably mention Levi when I talk about Yash at the beginning of the review, and then yeah, I'll talk about the returning rumors when we get to, like, Angela coming in and that sort of thing. But yeah, yeah, review. Kind of at the point where I probably should be starting it somewhat soon, but also I still need to do this fucking player ranking, so we'll see when that happens. I think wins the Alex Kirby war. I mean, like, I would lean Alex on paper, but also it's like, it seems like Kirby's able to get away with pretty much anything, so who knows? And by that, I more so mean, like I think Alex is the most likely traitor to win, but I could see Kirby winning the battle and it leads to, like, a faithful win. Or a recruited traitor win, or that sort of thing. They talk about Marvin during the 27 or 24 review. I'm not sure, actually. But thinking that was a shorter review than my more recent ones. Sorry, I generally don't remember, actually, if I talked about Marvin. I probably didn't, if I were to guess. Yeah, it was 4 fucking years ago. Yeah, that was over half the channel ago. That's pretty crazy. Chance of an AJ win? I wouldn't bank on it. Like, I would say not impossible in-game. I feel like overall, though, I would not feel too confident in it, like, edit-wise and all that. Melody and Mallory just realized Drew's closer to Icons than them. Melody just told Mallory not to tell them anything. Apparently, Dee told Mallory that she heard that she would be a Renom. That's interesting. I don't think that affects that much, genuinely, but that is interesting. Because, like, at the end of the day, it's like Mallory and Melody can't really do anything about that, right? Though... at least it's good that they, like, it's good for them to know in the sense that they now know, okay, we can't tell Drew everything because he'll probably rat it out. But, like, genuinely, it probably won't matter. Like, in terms of, like, how Mallory and Melody, like, maneuver in the game. From, like, a strategic perspective, I feel like. For next week. Again, down the road maybe, but For like Chrissy and Marvin. It was Christy, right? Was that her name? From 23. Yeah, should have gotten another shot at Big Brother. Yeah, I would like to see it. Would have been funny at least. Especially Christy. Christy would have been such a dud though. Genuinely, like Christy would have been such a dud. But also it would be funny to just see her show up on Big Brother. Marvin's a bit sloppy based on what we saw in the circle. Mind you, he was sloppy in like a showmancy way, not really as much of a game way. Like I don't know how like strategic like Marvin is, but he could be like good, I guess, or like good TV. I mean, Mallory and Melody are June and Allison. I don't think they're like June and Allison at all. Like June and Allison hated each other. D and Yash photo. What is the D and Yash? Oh, are we talking about the toe thing? Is that what we're talking about, or is this something else? What is this? Oh. That's a crazy shot. Yeah, that's pretty insane. This is also, yeah, that's also kind of funny. This could also be emote material. I mean, yeah, him having a multi-show, yeah, him being on trying to be on 3 reality shows at the same time. That is pretty sloppy. Why the fuck is Mookie trending? I'm sure they're talking about Mookie from Survivor Fiji, right? I'm sure that's what that is. A new toe emote with these records that I think we're better off without it, but I mean like a new D emote, yeah. A new toe emote though? I don't know about that. But yeah, this is an insane image. This is definitely very actually let's do this. Yeah, I'll download this. D, what do I call this? D tongue. Dude, can I type? What the fuck? I can't spell for the life of me. What the fuck? Season was saved. Oh yeah, I forgot about the yeah. That should be. I don't know. Like, hopefully that makes the show. That'll make it easier, like to get it into the review. Otherwise, it's like I don't know. Might try to force it in some way, but yeah, that is a very funny thing. How do you spell tongue? Is that right? I have no fucking clue, dude. Okay, I spelled it right. Cool. I'm so smart. You can tell I went to college. Played Donut County. Very 2008 game. I always wanted to play it. It's super short, right? Probably will play it eventually. That'll be if I can ever play games again. That'll happen sometime in my life. Okay. So stupid, dude. Wait, this. Yeah, 1.5 hours. Yeah, it's super short. Why some people still try to defend Henry's game? I haven't been listening to the podcast, but now. I mean, like, again, he has the right idea, but, like, the way he does it is bad. But yeah, I just love how this is on my computer right now. If it'll open. Is it just not going to open? There we go. I didn't realize the picture is that big. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. What is this? MasterChef. Like, I'm never watching MasterChef at this rate. Low? Is it just not gonna load in? Thank you. As a filter, I would think so, right? Is it a filter, or is it just from overhead and that's it? I generally don't know. I think there's a filter, right, to some degree. Yeah, actually, I think it has to be a filter. But it also could be just like a really weird camera angle. But yeah, when I have time to make emotes again, I will make this into an emote. Okay, that's also very funny. I'll make that into an emote, and then I'll make this into an alert. And I meant the image. And when Jonathan says, I've been waiting to beat off. And again, generally the melody of it all could just be an emo on itself. Like, that just looks so like whatever. The main characters talk in LOL and OMGs. I didn't even know the characters talked at all in that game. I know nothing about that game outside of, like, you can create, like, holes or something, right? Is that how the game works? But yeah, I'll maybe eventually play it. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this on stream. Okay. No, we've not done player rankings yet. Well, wait, player rank. Which the Big Brother Power rankings I did already. The like working on the player ranking for Survivor I've not done yet. What I call Melody my pipe queen? I call Mallory my pipe queen because she is the pipe queen. Like, why would I not call Mallory my pipe queen? Again, she's everyone's pipe queen. What even is the show I've dedicated some of my life into covering? That is a thing to question. Raccoons are making holes to suck people into them to take over the county. Yeah, it was something like that. I had Kamu 3, but it's a very tenuous 3. Like, generally with the power ranking, it's like D and, like, Devins and D are 1 and 2. And then, like, Chuck and Haley are the bottom 2. And then I would say, like, Mallory and Lala are after that. And then, like, everything else is just all over the place. Like, the rest of them are just, like, so up in the air until we, like, see the next HOH result, essentially. You don't like reality TV if you don't like MasterChef? I mean, who said I liked reality TV? Maybe I just hate watch it. I had Angela 6, I think. Okay, I just have no faith in Angela to win this season at this point, but she is, like, really safe. And, like, could still theoretically win. It's just I don't have faith in her. What is this? Oh.
You are, this is serious. This is not the time warp, this is the worst. I don't care how sick you are, this is serious. This is not.
This is such a, like, generally this is like, this entire, like what they're doing just feels so weird. Like, I love, like, just how many, like, clips and, like, GIFs have come from this. So we think that I've been streaming so long that D has been on 4 shows since I started streaming. I mean, D wasn't even on a show until 2 years after I started streaming, right?
Okay. Run. I'm running.
Oh my god. That must mean they fucked with
What happened to the
wait,
flame?
wait.
Yeah, this is the crash. Who isn't here? It's what, like Chuck? Oh no, Chuck's there. Is Haley here?
Oh my gosh.
Who is this? I can't tell who that is. Oh no, Haley's there. Duh. I play Circuit 26 now. It's on Game Pass, clearly. I still need to play Outer Wilds. 45 is the same year as BB25. Yeah. Yeah, I still need a oh no, actually no, I started the wrong thought. But yeah, like I've been streaming since what BB23, right? Like right before BB23 started. So it's like yeah, I've been streaming for a very long time at this point. Kamu winning would ruin the season. It wouldn't be great. Creates the cookout, yeah. I literally started streaming when Spicy V was on her first reality show. That's a thing. Yeah, like actually, when I started streaming, Tony was the last Survivor US winner. That's kind of weird to think about too. It'd be kind of funny to play without having watched a single game of cricket. I generally could not tell you how cricket works. Like, could not tell you a single rule of cricket. Like, is it like baseball coded? Like, I know the cricket, like paddle thing, whatever it is. But like, outside that, I generally know nothing about cricket. But yeah, when I get into back in the games, I'm gonna play Outer Wilds. Gonna finish that. I was gonna play Plague Tale. I'm not sure if I'm going to at this point. Like it comes out in like 2 weeks, and I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm not like dying to be honest. I might get back into like play Gears 4 and 5. I did want to play Amphibian. I did buy that. The most recent Don't Nod game. So, like, that's an option. But I don't know. There's too much shit I want to play. I don't have time for. We'll start playing games on stream again, though. I'll finish Pirate Yakuza, which I haven't played in, like, 3 months now. That'll be something. Outside that, I might just replay games, if I'm being honest. Because I kind of have a lot of games I feel like replaying right now. But, I don't know. Are there any men from the challenge I won the traders? Yeah, I guess maybe that is the case, that a lot of the better picks are women from traders. Yeah, actually, who's a good male pick for traders? Maybe like Shane? Frank? Yeah, Frank would be fun. Jordan? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like Jordan fits traders. Kiana would be very funny. Kiana would be a mess. When's the ranking gonna start? In like a second. Closer to baseball and other sports with a very different sport involves running around. Okay, so it's just like sounds like a simpler version then, right? I love how like many fucking notifications I get on from eBay at this point, because I just like fucking bid on like a billion fucking items. I got a pretty good deal today, if anyone cares. I got a Japanese copy of Dawn of the Monsters sealed for $9. That's pretty good. Also, I lost a whole bunch of auctions that I actually tried to win. That's also very funny. What's Bananas gonna do after their challenge is canceled? probably just do the same, right? I don't know. Like, I'll probably still do like podcasts and I don't know. I assume he'll still try to be an influencer. Scared to use eBay because I feel like I'll be scammed. With eBay, like as a buyer, it's actually like a pretty like there's not much to be scared of on eBay at this point, mainly because like they protect the buyer so much that where like you can get your money back for like almost anything nowadays. Like obviously don't abuse it or whatever, but like yeah, it's like it's kind of easy to get your money back on things. I would be very worried if I was a seller on eBay. Like, I mean, like, generally, like, again, not, like, trying to, but, like, I have had, like, spots where, like, what was it that I bought? I talked about my last year, or my last pickup video. Which game was it? Oh, Indigo Prophecy. I bought a copy of Indigo Prophecy, for, like, $30 or something, PS4, like, sealed. But anyway, I bought a copy of that online, like, on eBay, and, like, it just never arrived. To where, like, I asked for my money back, and I got my money back, and then, like, a month later, it arrived. To where it's, like, I didn't mean to, like, kind of scam a person, but, like, I guess I kind of did. I don't know. To where, yeah, I wouldn't trust, like, selling on eBay, personally, but, like, I feel like buying, you're fine. I'm not gonna watch a fucking rules video on cricket. Okay, he tried to sell someone once. I mean, that's not ideal. But yeah. But yeah, I do need to get around to selling stuff again, though. That's something I've been kind of waiting for. So I think I might. So I'm taking a week off of work in September when I'm doing the daytime stream that week. I'm thinking during that week I'll like take a day to like try to sell some shit, or like at least trade some shit in, or something. I say a day as if it would actually take like a full day, but like I mean like I feel like I should probably like start to get rid of stuff again, but I don't know. 'Cause I have too much shit lying around. But whatever. All right, let's work on the player ranking. We're kind of almost done. Kind of. Like, technically not, right? Like, technically we're barely past halfway. Where are we at? So, oh no, we're 2/3 of the way. Technically. But I feel like the end of this is much easier. Generally, I think we got through the easiest part of it yesterday. Like, the middle stretch, I felt like was the part of the list I was the most secure in after the last phase we did. I forgot where Mother Eve is, actually. I don't think she's top 50 anymore, though. She's 63. So that's something. Yeah. In terms of the power ranking, so I don't think there's any comments. At least there wasn't when I started stream. I was thinking about this since last night. So last night we finally got past Christina, which I feel like that was kind of the break-off point of like after that it's a lot of like pre-merge boots that are like swap screwed, and I feel like that's like part of the list that becomes a bit hazy, especially if we don't have like the criteria like fully solidified for the bottom of the list, where I think what we're gonna do now is actually move from the bottom up. I think that makes it a lot easier to kind of find like to figure out like the flow of like what we're favoring, I guess. So yeah, I think from now on we'll move bottom up. Christine says hi. I mean, is that high? She's like, she made it to 5th place and she's like barely in the top 3rd. Like, is that high? You guys are ready to try to reference me? I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but also it's like, would that make the edit? What is this? Oh yeah, we talked about this, right? Yeah. But yeah, again, like it's a spot where like they don't really have an option. Like again, it helps them like recognize like again, it could help them operate more optimally in terms of how they utilize information and everything, but really it doesn't really change their short-term plans. Like they can't really do anything about it at this point. Try to say asinine. Okay, yeah. But yeah, all right. We'll start from the bottom up, which I still feel very good about this bottom three. I still think that's just kind of easy for me. Where it's, again, like all players that have nothing really good to say about them. Again, are they as actively bad as certain other people? Maybe not, but it's still like a spot where like it's egregious that they're the first boots. Prime Meridian. Where is the Prime Meridian anyway? I assume it's... Wait, let me look this up. Cool. Oh, what the fuck? All right, well, that's fine. Does it pass Fiji? I assume it doesn't, right? Oh, yeah, it's like nowhere close to Fiji. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be tough to fit in. Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking. I was actually considering having Carolina last. Like, I think between Carolina... Like, I think Kel is third from last, like, kind of definitively. And then Carolina and John are kind of, like, interchangeable to me. I do think it's pretty egregious. Like, I think, like... So, the way I view it is that I feel like Carolina is probably more actively bad. Where, like, the stories we've heard from, like, Fishback and everything does seem like she just, like, was so terrible around camp. And like people just hated her. Where John Raymond, it's kind of more of a spot where like I think it's more egregious that John Raymond gets voted out when he does. In the sense that like they literally had Tanya who was sick, and he's still like one of the like biggest guys on the tribe. It's like the fact that he's the first boot is pretty crazy. I know in the last Blood and Clock Tower stream, like, he was telling this story about how Carolina, like, before the challenge, would, like, hog up all the cameras to try to, like, I forgot what the story was. It that she was, like, using the cameras to try to, like, fix her reflection or something, and, like, that pissed off the tribe. Again, it's not, like, from what I understand, it's not anything, like, major, but it's just more so the fact that like she just annoyed everyone with how she acted around camp. But yeah, I think I am willing to have Carolina last. And I think that allows me to make a Stephen Fishback reference also, so I think that's fine also. Yes, I think I'll update these as we go along. Fishback's just mad he's not Mother and she is. Facts. That's clearly the case. Where's Kel on this one? He's pretty high, isn't he? Or like not high, but like yeah, he's like here. Yeah, she's only engaged to David Murphy. They never got married. Shocker, I know. Okay. After that, I feel like I'm for sure going Michelle Jeremy. I think that still makes sense to me. So like on this list, like it's Michelle, Jeremy, Candace. Which I think is still probably fine also. Actually, let me see something too. We technically did make the bottom on this version. Like the one that we started and then gave up on. I think I'll copy this here just to have it as like a thing to look at, even though it isn't really that important. So yeah, on that one, I did have Michelle Chase, Jeremy, Billy Garcia, Candace as the next 4. New ranking everyone that got engaged during the Survivor Live reunion. How many people is that? Is it 4? Are there more? Like generally, I'm trying to remember. Like, is there more than Romber and David and Carolina? Which, yeah, it's just 4. Yeah, that's a brutal ranking. Like an Amber versus David Murphy. What does that look like? Oh yeah, are we including Big Brother? Because then we got like Swaggy and Bailey too, right? And yeah, Krista and Boogie. Is there more? I'll lean towards that probably being it at that point, right? But yeah, I think I will go through those 4 still. Yeah, I think the bot, like I think up to Drew, I would say the list is probably fine. I think at this point we're probably, maybe we should talk more about it. Okay, yep, meant to do that. Yeah, we got, where the fuck's Michelle in this? Wait, did I delete her already? Oh yeah, I think I did, didn't I? I deleted Michelle and... Hey, let's just double check. Yeah, I did, okay. Okay, so I delete all of them from that. And then this one, it's Michelle, Jeremy, Billy, and Candace. When Swaggy Z went on the challenge, yes. He was certainly a person that did go on the challenge. That is a true statement. Is Swaggy the most forgettable Big Brother player to have gone the challenge? Like, I generally think, like, even Riley is probably more memorable to have been on the challenge than, like, Swaggy. Like, even taking out recency bias into it. Like, I generally feel like Swaggy being, like, a mid-boot that, like, didn't do anything makes him, like, the most fucking forgettable person. Like, at least Riley's, like, the first boot or whatever. Yeah, maybe Liz and Julia. Maybe. Was it Michelle, Jeremy, Billy, and Candace? Morgan Willett. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the fact that she dated Bananas. I would say Victor's more memorable than Swaggy. I don't know. Generally, maybe it's a spot where, like, maybe because Bailey is there, you remember that Swaggy is there. I don't know. Bananas flirted with Deb in 2019. Sounds about right. Haley was never on the challenge. Yeah, oh wait, let's do this part of it too. Billy Garcia is there. Marissa Peterson's interesting, actually, because I think there's an argument she could be lower. Like, I had Marissa on the version we just did lower than this tier. But yeah, I like, is Marissa, or, like, if anything, Marissa might be worse than, like, because Marissa had nobody, right? And like, I think the thing about Marissa is that, like, you can give her grace for Blood versus Water. But like the Blood versus Water twist, I mean, playing a factor, and like Jervis annoying people, maybe like the people being more and like also like the day one twist, kind of, well, actually not the twist itself though. It's more so like the Matt chat and like Culpepper talking about it. It's like you can like maybe give her some grace for that, but like she also like doesn't really have much good to really give to her though. And you can at least like call out a thing that she did that was like actively bad. What happened to John Raymond being last? Again, for me, it's like very close between the two. I just like go Carolina because there's more to call out with Carolina as like things she did actively bad. Like the fact that like her tribe just generally hated her, where like with John Raymond, I don't know if they necessarily hated him. I think it was more so a spot where like they didn't take him seriously, or like annoyed that he was like joking around and that sort of stuff. Where like Carolina was like genuinely hated. She's like David Sampson without allies. Yeah, kind of. But yeah, like even like Michelle Chase, Jeremy, Billy Garcia, Candace, they all had like a person they were close with, right? Like Marissa had nobody. So yeah, I think I will put her there. Because like again, it's a thing where like there's just an easy thing to call out of like something she did wrong. Where like with Abraham, like I think you could argue Marissa and Abraham are like kind of like similar-ish. But like with Abraham, it's like there's not like a specific thing you can say that he did. Like it's like, yeah, maybe like again, he came off domineering. People didn't necessarily like that. But like it's not like Marissa where you can like literally just call out this like her calling out Brad Culpepper is like, that was really dumb. Like, why'd you do that? Like there's not really like that individual thing for like Eric, for Abraham. So yeah, John Mayer is trying to get that James Hewling AFP money. Yeah, clearly. But again, that's not John Raymond as a player. That's John Raymond as a human. And yeah, like obviously we're ranking this on like how are they as people. John Raymond's one of the worst people to be on the show. Where's Marissa on this? Am I being dumb? What? They delete her somehow? Okay, I guess I did. Don't know how that happened, but fine. Alright, Marissa there. Marissa here. Marissa here. And Marissa there. Okay. Then yeah, I think I do go through the like this tier of people. I guess there's an argument that Deb could be like maybe higher. Like, does Deb do that much like actively wrong? Like, I think BB, Wendy, Joe here makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I think you could argue, what was it? You could argue like Deb and Wanda higher maybe, but it's like, it's not like there's anything good to give them credit for either. Let's see. We got Wendy, Joe, and So yeah, based on like the chart of like statistical analysis, it would be Wanda, Semhar, and Deb. I did end up moving Semhar up on the version we did last time. Anti for Semhar was higher before anyway, so maybe I'll just keep that. So this is the bottom 10, which I think that's a solid bottom 10. I think the thing about Deb is, like, is Deb really that much worse than, like, an Abraham? Like, aren't they actually, like, kind of the same thing? It's like, with Abraham, it's like there were less options. Like, it was a small tribe and that sort of thing. So, like, I'll give, like, Abraham the edge. But, like, yeah, I don't know if Deb's really that much worse than an Abraham. So, yeah, I think... I might leave Wanda here. Abraham did not have allies. Near to Deb. But to be fair, Abraham was on a tribe of, like, only 6 people. And a spot where, like, the women created alliance right away. And then, like, Xander and Voce, like, did the journey together. So it's like, yeah, it's like a spot where, like, I think I can give him, like, a tad bit of grace. But it's still bad in the grand scheme of things. I think I'm gonna go... actually... Oh yeah, I didn't delete Marissa from this one. Wanda's a weird one on this list. Like, Wanda's one where, like, she obviously gets taken out due to a twist. So, like, because that's, like, we never actually see her game properly play out. But also, she likely would have been one of the worst players ever. Or, like, I don't think I can confidently say that Wanda's much better than, like, a Wendy Jo, practically. But it's like, is it because of the unknown that we never properly see her go through a round of gameplay? Is that enough to, like, keep her above this? Like tiers above this, I should say. I think I'm going to keep Wanda here. In this tier. And then, like, I'm thinking of moving Deb in with the Abrahams. Didn't mean to add the arrow there. Dude, fuck off. Just fucking select the thing. There we go. I think Banu is an actively worse player despite surviving more tribals. Again, you can argue that. I'm not gonna have it on my list, but you can argue that for sure. Like, I still think the fact that Banu is able to, like, not mess it up enough through his first 2 tribals to be voted out is still, like, better than a lot of other people. But he is obviously still really bad. Yeah, we'll delete Wanda. I think I might go Jacob Derwin. Willard Yasmin next. I think is where I'm leaning. Like they were a group last time around. I think they're all like pretty bad players, though there was at least a point where an alliance was coming together to potentially save them. But they're still pretty bad. I'm debating the order. I think it's probably like generally maybe Derwin's the best. I mean, Derwin had like I think Derwin's chances of surviving were less than Willard and Yasmin. But I think Willard and Yasmin are probably like actually like worse like socially and that sort of thing, or like at least like are more like confrontational, or like I guess Willard's not like so like Yasmin like obviously ends up being confrontational, and too fair confrontational with Ben, so it's like is that confrontational like in the grand scheme of things, but like still and then we have Willard, who's just like grumpy around camp and people didn't like him because of that. Like Jacob Derwin, it's like, does Jacob Derwin do anything wrong outside of just being awkward? Was the difference between Jacob and Wendy? Wendy survives like 4 or 5 tribals. Jacob can't survive 1. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty big difference. Oh, Wendy Joe we're talking about. Again, Jacob had people that did want to keep him around. Wendy didn't. Like Jacob, like technically like Laurel and James and them wanted to keep him around. They just didn't really feel like it was worth fighting for. I don't think him openly idol hunting is anything like that detrimental to the placement here. If anything, it's actually probably a boon, the fact that he's playing actively, at least. Let's see, where are... Did I delete them from this one already? I think I did, right? Wait, I didn't delete Wanda from this one. And then they're up here on this one. Willard, Jacob there. Willard, Jacob, and where's Yasmin on this one? Oh, cool. Willard, Jacob, Yasmin. Okay, so that's fine. All right. After this, is this where I go Deb, or do I go Shannon Drew? I might go Shannon Drew, I think. I think I might go Shannon Drew and then get to like Deb and Abraham and like Chicken and like those sort of people. Where the fuck are they? Okay, they're up here on this version. I also had them with Nina here, but I think I probably will just go Nina higher. Actually, I don't know, like Natalie Cole. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll still go Shannon and Drew. I feel like with them, they're just like, they're the first boots from their tribes and they're so self-destructive. So it's like, they did have allies. Like, that's at least something, but they also caused their eliminations, like to an obscene degree to where I dock them for that. Where the fuck is Drew and Are they high on this? Where are they? Or did I delete them already from that one? Maybe I did. There's players where would think that they're ranked too high? Like, the people themselves? I don't know. Are there any? I don't think there are any that would think that they're ranked too high. I think if you ask most, they would probably think that they're better than what they are. Generally, if anyone, maybe like a Mother Vive. Probably Jacob Derwin, maybe. Yeah, they're high on this version, right? Okay. Yeah, now I think I go Deb and Eric and Chicken. I think that's probably a grouping here. I mean, too, for Deb and Eric are probably more similar. Like, Chicken's kind of his own separate thing, technically. A player do I think was the most heartbreaking elimination? Probably Ozzy and 50. At least that's the first one that comes to mind for me. Abraham, Deb, and Abraham, Deb, and Abraham. Okay. Then yeah, I have Chicken here, which I think is fine. So Simone is the next person, like, bottom-wise in the average. Though, I don't know. Simone's a weird one because, like, there's not really anything, like, truly negative to say about Simone. But there's also, like, nothing positive either. Like, I guess you could argue, okay, was she screwed by Allie and Patrick having a pregame connection? Like, maybe. But, like, she probably was going to be the first boot anyway. But, yeah, she's someone that, like, I think she's, like, a major part of this, like, what is the criteria here? Because, yeah, I think if we're... because, yeah, the initial thing I was going to do was, like, only look at the positive. Like, rank them based on, like, what is good there. And if that's the case, then, like, Simone, Nicole, Katrina are probably, like, around here. Like, lower, technically. Like, probably, like, yeah, like in this range. Because there's nothing really good to say about them. There just isn't, like... Also isn't anything necessarily bad. But I think in this version, again, we're trying to find, like, that balance to where, again, I guess they are moving up, but just where. Yeah, I think Chicken, I'm willing to drop here. Yeah, I think we'll go Chicken. Who might just be his own, like, separate tier, genuinely. He's like, I don't feel like there is someone else like Chicken. Where he, like, had an ally, but also, like, played pretty poorly, had the wrong strategy coming in. Again, just played way too passively. Okay, cool. Fuck me. I think at that point, I think I go... I think Christine and Paloma next makes sense. Yeah, I guess that's fair, actually. Even Ashley didn't vote for Chicken. Who did Ashley vote for? PG, right? Is that what she voted for? Let's see. Like, I think I would lean Paloma and Christine. Maybe I have chicken with, like, Nina Acosta, actually. So yeah, maybe I do go Christine and Paloma first. Actually, I guess I should be like yeah, I'll do. Yeah, I think I'll do Christine Paloma first. Oh, wait, I didn't delete Abraham and Deb from that. Then I think maybe I go Chicken, then Nina, then Reem. I think maybe save Rachel Aiko for later because, like, at the end of the day, is Rachel Aiko that, like, I think Rachel Aiko probably should be wherever Simone ends up being. Actually, no, if anything, Rachel Aiko had an ally. So that's like, but like Rachel Aiko is someone that, like, again, I don't think does that much like actively wrong. She just was like awkward around camp and people didn't really bond with her. Where like a Nina and a Reem like were like more confrontational at points. Same thing with like Paloma and Christine. Yeah, I'll go Paloma Christine next for sure. Oh, I forgot Paloma was like higher on this one for some reason. They're up here on this one. Okay. Then yeah, I think I go. Yeah, Chicken, Nina, Reem. I think makes sense as the next grouping. If anything, actually, maybe I could go. Maybe like Sekou, David, Lindsay, even. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe those three first, actually. Because they were also, like, have, like, aspects of them that were actively bad. They only have one ally. I guess they all came from smaller tribes, which I think was the thing I gave them, like, some credit for. But, like, technically these people had more than one ally. I guess, like, Reem only had one by the end. But, like, again, Keith wanted her to stay. Just that he was in, like, self-preservation mode. So yeah, I think I might go this. And then Chicken, Reem, Nina. And then I think we get to Natalie and them, but we'll deal with that in a second. I think I can get rid of this. Like, we've kind of gone through what we have there anyway. Yeah, what we're doing here. So we're doing... Where's Samson? He's up here. David Sampson. Lindsay. And Sekou. And then you have Chicken, Nina. Where is Chicken? Chicken. Nina Acosta. And Reem. Wait, what? Oh, I accidentally closed it? Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, I broke it. Total break if Marissa Callahan doesn't make it to part 2. I mean, well, they're probably gonna break then. Did I clean this up yet? I don't think I did, right? Yeah, they're still there. All right, yeah. Reem, Nina, Chicken, and it's these people. This one is Reem, Nina, Chicken, and then where are they on this one? Are they like way higher? Did I pass them? I must have passed them, right? Oh yeah, there they are. So there's no way I put them that high, right? This one, Chicken, Reem. Dude, this one's just a mess. What the fuck is this? Nina Costa. Still one other person. Seikyo. Oh no, 2 people. Wait, what? It doesn't matter. Alright, whatever. And then this one, I need to take out Chicken, Christine, Paloma, not Jillian. Fuck. Paloma, Nina Costa, David, Reem. Cool. Dude, okay, yep. And that. I don't know how the numbers got fucked up here, but it doesn't matter that much, does it? As long as everyone still knows. Okay. Oh wait, fuck, I didn't update this one. Not that it matters that much either, but still. So what, Chicken's gone. Oh, dude, these are gone. Who are the other 2? Oh, I forgot this one's just a mess. I can't even count it that way. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not gonna bother. All right, whatever. Moving on. After Reem. So I did have Semhar and Simone on this version. Simone here. On this version, I had Jillian, Natalie, Cole, Nina. I think those are probably the 2 options here. No, I haven't gotten to Jason and Matt. We're starting from the bottom now. Unless you want them to be at the bottom, then I can go through them right now. But let's see. Yeah, I think the debate right now is what is worse between Semhar, Simone, and like probably a Rachel Aiko versus an Ashley Mazzaro. Technically, Ashley Mazzaro kind of is like a player like this that just went through 2 tribals, right? I mean, I guess you could argue like Natalie, Cole, and Nina could be at this point, considering they're like actively bad second boots. So maybe they take the hit now. I'm debating like Natalie Cole versus Jillian. I technically had Jillian below Natalie Cole in every list. Where did I have Ashley Mazzaro on this list? I had her up there. Take a hit would be a great transition to Hannah. Yeah. Maybe I go something like this. And maybe save Ashley Mazzaro for when I do the Simone Semhar tier. And she's like the slightly better version of it. Yeah. I think with Ashley though, like I think there's more argument that she could be lower because like she was confrontational. Though to be fair, like she also was sick, so like that played a factor into things. Yeah, I'm debating if Ashley here. Or maybe I can't go Ashley here actually, just because I do think she's more actively bad. Oh my god, I have 9 minutes to win the Master Chief Collection. Which I'm probably not gonna do. What the why is the Master Chief Collection going for like $40 right now? The fuck is that? Whatever. I might do that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, part of me is like, I kind of want to have Ashley here, but part of me is also like, is she really worse than Semhar and Simone? So it's like, do I really want to dock her like that much just for like getting into a fight with Dave Cruiser? Let me see something. Okay, so like if I do go through with this, I want to see what the tier is that I'm debating, right? So it's like, it's Simone, it's Semhar, it's what, Rachel Ako is probably in it. Is that it? I mean, maybe Jackson and Charity could be in it too. Actually, John Lovett is interesting. Because I'm not sure what I'm exactly doing with John Lovett. And like Darnell is another one also. Actually, Katrina and Nicole also probably should be in this ballpark. If I'm doing this. I think I'm leaning towards just like leaving it with this. I think with Ashley, it's like she never votes correctly. She was so on the outs, and she also like again got into fights. So I think having her here is probably fine. But I think immediately after this, I go to people like this. I think is what I'm leaning. Sorry, I think it's like Ashley and Jillian in like a tier here. And then you have Nina and Natalie Cole together there. And they're all together on this version. On this version. Did I delete them from this version already? I think I might have, right? Yeah, I think this is where I got them from. Yeah. And then on the average, they're all towards the bottom at least. Okay. So, yeah, I think at this point, I do go for the Simone, Semhar, Rachel Ako grouping with a potential of John Lovett. I think the problem with John Lovett is, why is John Lovett that much worse than like a Sarah Wilson and a Zach. And also, I think actually Semhar would be below Simone. Actually, I don't know. I guess Semhar at least theoretically had Ozzy, right? Like Simone technically had nobody. Actually, what am I doing? I should have Jonathan Libby around here too, right? Because that was like the thing with Jonathan Libby. And probably Courtney Moon also. I was going to have them kind of at like a breaking point like this of like where to actively bad players. Okay, what do we do with Banu also? I think is the other one. But either way, yeah, they're here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Courtney Moon is where? Where's Courtney Moon? Where the fuck did I put Courtney Moon? Where is she? There. Okay. So we have that. I think I will go Simone, Nicole, Katrina. Then Semhar. Rachel Ako. I think is what I'm looking at here. Like all players that, again, first boots. Like I think Katrina, Nicole, Simone are all like fairly similar. The fact that there's like nothing really good to say about them, but also nothing really that bad, and they were just like taken out like on a smaller tribe. Semhar and Rachel, like also like not that much bad to say about them outside they were like kind of socially awkward, I guess. But they at least had like one person that like kind of wanted them around. Now, do I go? No, actually, let's just deal with this first. I'll do this first. We got Simone, Nicole, and Katrina, Radke. And then on this we have Semhar and Rachel Ako. I actually think about it, is there an argument that Katrina is worse than Simone? Because I think with Simone and Nicole, like, you can come up with an excuse. I guess the excuse for Katrina is that she's old. But like with Simone, it's like you can say, okay, Allie and Patrick had like a connection pregame. You have like Nicole for the pre-gaming of it all from her original tribe. Like Katrina doesn't really have like a reason like that to help her on the ranking, but also she's old. So I guess that's a boost. she gets the old boost. But yeah, I might do that. I think I'm gonna stand at this point. I actually feel getting, like literally sitting in one spot for this is kind of miserable. Actually, no, standing's actually worse. Okay, whatever. I'll go through that. So then I have to delete them from here. Wait, is Nicole? Yeah, Nicole and Katrina are there. I do think I'm gonna go with this, like this grouping next potentially. We'll see. I am worrying. Am I like moving too high on like Charity and Jackson? But we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so it's everyone there. I need, what, 5 people from this one. So Simone's gone. That's not what I meant to do. I didn't mean to fucking copy Jed all over the place. Rachel's gone. And where are the rest here? Semhar's there. Nicole and Katrina. Yeah, I had John Lovett below Nicole and Katrina. Like, I think the argument for John is that I think John was at least trying to play more optimally, but, like, does that mean much right now? Like, I mean, like, does that mean much to play more optimally in a group of 6 that, like, you were still on the bottom of? Yeah, whatever. This one, we gotta delete Rachel. We got to delete Ashley Mazzaro. Wait, did I not delete the previous tier either from this? No, it's only 3. Yeah, this list is just a mess. Just because the tiers are so fucking big on this one, too. You know what? Couldn't be bothered. It's fine with that one. Here, Simone and Rachel are gone. Semhar is gone. Then Nicole and Katrina. Oh, and Jonathan Libby also. And where's Courtney Moon then? She's up there. That's fine. And Courtney Moon's just a weird one, just because like we really don't like it. It wouldn't shock me if she was the first boot, but like we really just don't know. So it's like I think I'm better off just like I'll leave her where she is. Of like above like the really really bad, but like below the people that's like there's not much bad to say about them. We got Semhar there. We got this tier gone. And then we have Rachel gone. Is the other one. Okay. So, what do we do now? John Lovett's on the bottom of the most recent list. Jackson and Charity are on the bottom of that one. And Banu is on the bottom of the original list. I feel like I would lean towards Banu being a tad higher, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not, actually. I think this is a tough thing of, like, trying to piece together... Like, so, like, I think there's an argument Banu should be here. Where, like, Nina, Porsche, below Jonathan Libby. And him being kind of, like, the final, like, really bad player. But he does, like, it's a spot where, like, he makes the third tribal, and he's voting in the majority for the first 2 tribals. So we're like... Yeah, he's, like, really bad outside that, but I do feel like that's, like, good enough to keep him above the bottom of the barrel. Sherry first boot on Siva. If they went to tribal, yeah. She was first boot on Siva. She was first boot on the swap tribe, and then she actually ends up being the boot at the merge. Which is why Charity's so low. Is that she had 3 different tribe formations, and she would have been voted out in every single one of them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like just that alone for Banu probably means he's higher. I'm actually debating more so, is there an argument that even these players are above Charity and Jackson? Because that way Jackson would be closer to Courtney Moon, which I think is a more apt comparison. And then and it's for sure she's just different, isn't she? Yeah, like the credit to give to the Charity is that throughout it all, she at least did have Mitch backing her. Obviously, what a great ally to have. But yeah, genuinely, it's like that is a positive, I guess. Yeah, I guess at the merge vote, technically Say doesn't vote for her. Who does Say vote for? I actually don't remember. I'm generally trying to think. Cedric. Oh, yeah. She votes for Cedric. I don't know if that had anything to do with Charity, though, but yeah, I guess. How much did the Master Chief Collection sell for? $37? That's something. I think I will go Charity and Jackson above these players, I think. I think I'm leaning this. I think the debate right now is why are these that much better than this, though? Which I guess it comes down to, like, actively bad play. Like, Jackson probably would have been the first boot, but, like, it's not like Jackson did that much wrong. Charity, yeah, she would have been the first boot in all of iterations, but it's like, it's not like she does that much actively wrong. Is that she didn't really gel with the people that she was with, but it's like in terms of like strategic blunders or anything, she doesn't really do anything like that bad. So yeah, we'll do Jackson. Jackson Charity. Jackson Charity there. I don't know where Jackson Charity are on this one, or did I already take them out of that one? I generally don't remember. I guess I must have. And then they're on the bottom of this one. Alright. Actually, we'll take them off of this one too. Okay, so now on the list, John Lovett's still there. TK is on this one. And then Banu is on the bottom of this one. I think I would lean this. I think Matt Quinlan is closer to TK, actually. Yeah, I'd probably go TK Matt as like a sub tier, and then do Marissa, Jed, Jolanda. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So here we have TK and Matt. And then we have Marisa, Jolanda, Jed. Okay. I think an issue that's coming up... Well, actually, let's do the cleanup first. So those are all the next people there. Actually, interesting. Asia is with TK on this version of the list. Which, does that mean that Asia should be down here with TK and Matt? I think it makes sense, actually. Like it's a spot where, like, can I name anything that Asia actively does well? And it's like, technically, like, she gets herself voted out. There's, like, obviously, like, Asia's someone that, like, I would like to think that she is a good Survivor, or, like, a competent Survivor player. But, like, that's not founded on anything outside of the fact that she just had, like, a loyal ally in Saul. But I guess, like, the notion that she wasn't meant to be the first boot is, like, a thing to, like, prop her up. But it's, like, also a detriment to the fact that she, like, caused that to happen on herself. So yeah, I think she's higher. I think she's probably closer to this tier, though. She wasn't there at the beginning. Yeah, but that's like the TK thing also, though. These three. TK and Matt are where on this? Or did I already move them? I probably did. Yeah. And what, TK, Matt is there. Okay, they're all at the bottom there too. Okay. Okay. Is this where I leave John Lovett? Or do I go... Or do I go this, like, Nicole Delma tier? On this list, I had Nicole Delma with Tina Shear, Zane, and Lindsay. Which I think is probably fair. Like, they're all people that, like, had a group at a point, but then it doesn't last until the actual vote. So I think that's an option. I think these players are probably getting a tad too high at this point, though. Because they are essentially just, like, a slightly better version of, like, a Rachel Aiko. this one, John Lovett's the bottom average wise. Okay, I think in terms of following off of this, I do think the Nicole Delma tier makes sense. So I think I will go through with them. I think we're going to have to revisit of like maybe these players should be lower. But I think just continuing off of this track, I do think the like this tier makes sense. Like these players that like had a majority, but then also caused it. Okay, cool. Caused it to destruct on their own. Zane and Tina are there. Where are they on this one? Zane is there. Yeah, this one's kind of all over the place. Lindsay is there. It is funny just like how unstructured the original like tier list is at the bottom. Like it's just like people all over the place, really. Yeah, it's like literally all these people are all in different tiers somehow. But here we got Zane, Lindsay, Nicole, and then Tina. Fuck. And then here it's what? Lindsay. Zane, Tina. Okay, so I do think it's interesting that these players are ones that are also in the same grouping on this list of like at least Morgan McDevitt and Jelinski. Or maybe they should be here. Yeah, I am interested in like what should I do with John Lovett. I think ultimately John Lovett, I think maybe I do go with like these players together. Like all had the like right idea of what they should be doing but couldn't execute, came from small tribes, like all of them were in tribes of 6. All of them had like a theoretical ally, the one that didn't fight for them at the end. Like I think those 4 all feel kind of like kind of, well, what am I gonna do? I'm tired. Whatever, kind of correlated. I do think an issue, like I think these players are probably too high, these players here on this version, or like on these versions I should say, which is the reason why I kept this list around, is because I do think there are probably some adjustments that I wanted to take away from this. In fact, in that being one of them, I feel like the Helen, like Bryce, Stephanie, Liz, So Kim, like those sort of people, like they're pretty high on this version of the list, and maybe they should be lower. Oh yeah, like they're like Darnell, whatever, they're all the way up there. It's like I feel like that's probably too high in the grand scheme of things, but I don't know. I think maybe I go for this tier next, because I feel like this is the next evolution of the Lindsay tier. So yeah, I think I'll follow this like through line of like bad players, And then I think we'll try to figure out what to do with the like not as actively bad players following that. Because I think maybe there should be like some sort of like mix, more so than it all being like all above and whatnot. Because like I think that's like on this, it's like all of them are like all the like like the people that didn't play poorly but didn't play well or like lower on the list, where like on this one like it factors in more like actively bad play, or like this one doesn't. It's like, I don't know, it's just kind of all over the place, where again it's about finding the right mixture of it. Let's see. So how much? Okay, so we do still have quite a bit here. Like Geo is still here. Like Geo is definitely pretty bad, right? If anything, actually, maybe Geo does just make sense to be right next to Lindsay, considering it's not like he barely even survives the vote that Lindsay gets voted out at. I have Geo above Banu on this one, which I don't even know if I agree with that. Then I have Geo above Banu in literally every list, so maybe I should agree with that then. I don't know. Yeah, Geo had an ally. But like, so it's some of the people that we've gone through already though. I mean, in comparison to Banu, I mean, yeah. Yeah, maybe I do go Banu here then. Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing with these players. So I do think John Lovett will move up a little bit. Or should he, actually? Like, part of me kind of wants to restart this, if I'm being honest. Just like like in an attempt to keep it more consistent. Like just restart the bottom, to clarify. Because I think maybe it would have been better if I just kept it more. Because like now I'm essentially just like following one track, and then I'm gonna add things as we like add things back in. I feel like that's not the right approach to be taking. So let's see if I can. I just want to do this real quick. Is it this one? No, that's not the right one. I think it's this one, Nat. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, I'm working from the bottom up for the like bottom 200 or so. How far up do I need? I guess we'll go from like... I'll go from like Mariah, I guess. Wait. Where is Mariah? Here. Oh, I forgot. It changes the last thing, doesn't it? Okay, let's copy just this then. I think that restores this, right? I just want to... Like, I'm gonna follow this again. I just want to like make sure like the charts and stuff stay consistent. I don't know if much of substance really happened today on BB. And then we have Cal. I don't know why there's one extra person here, but whatever, I guess. Then yeah, I'll still keep with that. That's fine. I'm generally, it's probably fine up until here, I would say. Or should I just, you know what, fuck it, I don't care enough. It's fine as it, I'll just go back to what I was doing. It doesn't matter that much, right? Like, generally, I don't care. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, generally, I just need this done at this point. I'll go Banu. I'll fucking go Banu at this point, I think. Yeah, I'll go Banu. Actually, or maybe I go Gabe, Chris. Nah, actually no. I think I do go Banu. Yeah, I'll go Banu, and then I think I'll go this grouping next. Or maybe is this the same? I think it's the same either way, right? Let me see something real quick. Where are Ryan and they're up there? Yeah, I'm thinking this. I'm thinking these players move down. I think is the main thing I need to fix here. I think outside of that, it probably is just fine as is. But yeah, I think those players there. And we'll do that. And then I think I do move these players down. I'm not sure where. Maybe like somewhere in this range. And they all have people voting with them, I guess, for that's worth. Is Leslie really that bad, though? Maybe she isn't that bad. Like, they were all, like, first voted out of their tribes. Yeah, I think it's, again, trying to find the balance here is kind of the issue. Yeah, I think I do feel pretty good about it until here. Then we get to this. Maybe this. Like, all of them had, well, no, I guess Diane. Well, okay, Diane was a weird one because, like, they technically want clearance out, but they felt like they couldn't because of physical strength. Janet had a couple people not voting for her. Leslie had one, right? Problem is that none of them had, like, genuine allies in the game. I was gonna move him there until I realized, yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'll go here. Like, I feel like they're worse than these, maybe? I don't know. I guess it's the thing of, like, what did they do wrong? Not really much of anything, but they also just don't do much right. And it's like, while they had people voting with them, they don't have, like, genuine allies in the game. I guess with, like, Lindsay, it might be different because, like, she was, like, building strong connections with people in the other tribe. Yeah, it's like, I feel like Leslie is one that I'm kind of willing to give, like, some grace to, actually. I don't know. Maybe they just aren't that bad then. Where are they in this version? On this version, yeah, they are above these. Okay, so I didn't delete them from this yet. Okay, so it's just those, right? Yeah, let me see something with this, I guess. How does what affect Parvati's legacy? What the fuck are we talking about? Let's see. So we'll go. Oh, is it just these? It's 4 of them. Who's the other person? Oh, Betsy's higher. Yeah, Betsy's there. And this one we have Geo, Joanna, Stacy, Betsy, Brad. The fact that the fact that these players are next on the aggregate is interesting. I don't even know if I'm going to bother updating this list. It's probably not worth it, right? I think it takes too much time to do that. But yeah, I do find it interesting that... So we got John Lovett. Then... It's these... I think I'll follow with this track. Yeah, maybe I'll just follow this track and see where it leads me. I think it's this grouping. Okay, I don't know. I am struggling with this, and I am debating if it's better to. Let me see something. Okay, let's do... I just want to copy this list over and take a look at this list again. Okay, well, this is a mess. It's just this part. Okay, well, this is kind of a pain. Okay, whatever. Okay, so again, the bottom I feel perfectly fine. I just want to compare the tiers that we have here. Then yeah, it's Wendy Jo, and then we have Wanda, and then it is Jacob, Yasmin, Willard, and then it's these. I think what I'm trying to do is I should be trying to keep these tiers more solidified, but just making sure the order is what's moving around, not necessarily like people moving tiers left and right. So yeah, it is Christine, Paloma, and then David, and then is still fine. Then Chicken, who's just kind of on his own. It's Nina and Reem. Ashley Mazzaro. Okay, so I'm debating if, like, should I just leave Rachel Aiko where she was? Should I just move her back down to remain consistent? Like, move her back down with the... Where would she be? She would be... Where would she be? Here, right? Nina Costa Reem. That's what it was. Doesn't feel, I don't know, it's a spot where, like, I don't know how much she actively does wrong, and she did have an ally. Yeah, whatever. I think I'll keep it as is. I think that's not that big of a deal. Then yeah, Courtney Moon, Jonathan Libby. Oh, and delete these. And then we have, yes, and at that point it's the Simone. Rachel Aiko, Jackson, Charity. Yeah, again, I think for me the dilemma is, like, where do I leave these people? And where do I want to have, like, a John Lovett? Like, where do I want to have these players also? You know, actually, maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll just, like, try to create some sort of, like, tests. Like, instead of, like, keep on moving the final list here, let's just have some, well, actually, I guess the problem with this is that you can't see it, right? Weeks of chat. We'll do something like that. Okay, I just want to, like, play around with things here. So, like, I think my gut, like, so if I'm following my gut instinct on this, I think it would be these players next. Actually, let's, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be. I guess, yeah, fuck it. Let's just do a full-on, like, test run, I guess, by moving everything. Yeah, I feel like these four there, and then that is Pat, Chris Noble, Gabe. So it's literally just all these bottom people. Pat, Gabe, Brian, and then who's the other one? Oh, Chris Noble, who is up there. Don't know why he's up there, but he is. Okay. So I'm thinking something like that. But again, the question is, where do I leave these people off? Also, I do find interesting that, yeah, with Jolanda, Jed, and Marissa. I don't know. I'm considering. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to redo. Like, I generally want to redo part of this. I think is the thing, but I'm just like, should I? Yeah, fuck it. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it. It's gonna bother me if I don't. So I think I'm just gonna redo it. I need up to Christina. So it's this. I'm still gonna keep what we have here. But yeah, I'm. Okay. Let's. I think I'll try put that there just as a guide. But again, I just feel like this is for peace of mind more than anything. I'm just gonna redo this. So just gonna do that. These are still at the bottom, and these are gone, so that's fine. Like what I'm trying to do is check, like, do more checking as I'm putting people do more like analysis of like where they are in comparison to other people amongst other lists, instead of just like placing them right away. I do think the bottom of this is still fine, so I think I'm still willing to like move Marissa there. Like that's still fine. Do that. Take out Marissa from this. Take out Marissa from this. And then do that. Then yeah, Michelle, again, like that's still fine. Michelle, Jeremy, fuck me, dude. Generally, I'm so tired is also a factor right now. Which is kind of annoying, as I did obviously want to get like a good chunk done tonight, but it doesn't seem like that's probably gonna happen. Actually, maybe I'll leave them there. Dawson BB28 cannibalizing Rick Devon's arm tonight. What? Is that a thing? Oh, I forgot that. These lists are different, aren't they? Well, whatever. I'll just delete Christina up. And whatever, we'll deal with that later. Wendy Joe. And then Candace. which is all these people, and then Billy is up there. And then we have BB. Which, again, that's still fine because they're all in the bottom, and I did already consider these things. Okay, and then Wanda, I think, is also fine where she is. Mallory chopped it off. Well, that's a travesty. Wonder how Becca feels about that. Okay, and then again, this 3 is still fine. Also, like generally, again, like most of this list, I at the bottom, I do feel is good. Willard. Seems like Shrek's gonna be a big target. I don't know if they'll last though. He probably shouldn't be a big target. Okay, and then we'll get rid of Shannon and Drew, along with this grouping. Okay, I think now we need to start paying attention again. So on this version, I had Deb and Eric. On here, Deb and Eric are also with Semhar. I do, so like Semhar on this version is slightly higher because she's with Rachel Ako. Actually, something I might as well do, just for sake of it, is copy the number thing, just so we have a view of what numbers they're at too. Just for sake of it. Probably should double check that this is... how would I do that, actually? Yeah, let me see something. This should be 751, if it's right. It is, okay. Okay, so it is the right numbers there, at least. Stream tomorrow? Yeah, if I don't get this done, which I probably won't tonight. Where's Simone? Simone's higher. So yeah, again, like I think if I'm being consistent with this stuff, Semhar probably should be around now. Where's Rachel? Again, maybe I assessed her too low to begin with. Maybe she should be closer to. But no, I guess it's like, is Semhar, like in terms of like from an ally perspective, is she that different from like Candace, who like had an ally but they didn't stick by her, which is kind of what Semhar is. maybe I do go. Like, where's Semhar again? She's with Rachel. Rachel and Allie stuck by her. Yeah, I am leaning Semhar maybe here. Like, I think Semhar above Abraham and Deb. Like, I'm thinking Semhar here. Or maybe I go through these first and then do Semhar. Semhar's there. Okay, actually, I want to let's make this a full test. I actually want to, yeah, I think this is what I'm gonna do. I think right now I'm gonna construct this list, basing it more around this. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna fully use this as more so a test than anything. I think I'm just not gonna like fully think things through. I just want to test out a list right now and just see how I feel about it. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do the Semhar, Eric, Deb thing. Actually, no, I realize now what's wrong about that. Okay, maybe I do just stick with what I had of Eric and Deb then. Eric and Deb. Yeah, it's Abraham, I know, but whatever. And Eric here. Oh yeah, I forgot the numbers are fucked. This is the one that matters though, right? So Semhar is the lowest on this iteration of the list. But then we do have John Lovett. But I think going to these. Okay, like the thing is, like, I think up to Lindsay is fine. I think those are players you can at least argue are like actively bad enough. And yeah, we have David, Sekou, Lindsay. Did my internet die for a second? Or not? Okay, cool. Whatever. Yeah, I'll be honest. I have no clue what I'm actually doing right now. Yeah, I think I'm just wasting my time. I generally don't know what I should do here in terms of the people on the bottom. I think it comes like I think the problem comes from the fact that there's the contradiction of like why is John Lovett this like it's like yeah he doesn't do anything wrong, but again he like I just don't know how to piece together the notion of like when someone like Darnell, John Lovett, who like don't necessarily do anything wrong, but also there's nothing good about them either. And like that in comparison to, I don't know who a good example is, but maybe in comparison to like a Brad, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I even want though. Which list is it? It's this one, right? Yeah, let me see something with above Abraham, below Simone. But then again, okay, what the fuck? It's these are the two that I need. Maybe I go above Simone. Where's Simone? She's like over here. Like all of these are voted out first, right? At the first tribals. Until Banu, I believe. Well, like outside, like these. Betsy. How many people do we still have on this? We still have like 200. Like how much is here? I think it's like 50 or something, right? 54. Okay, I think yeah, I think I will just continue on with this one track and then figure out things from there. That's right. I do think it should be like after Brad, it should be Pat, Chris Noble, Gabe, Ryan. Oh wait, no, actually no, it's not that one. It's this version, which is pretty much the same thing anyway, right? Just different order. Where's the Pats? Oh wait, these are just all the people, aren't they? Yeah. And these are all people that were voted at the first tribals, though at points had number. I guess Ryan's different. Ryan didn't really have numbers on his side, but whatever. Let's see. So I don't know. Okay, this is also the problem. I'm just way too fucking tired. Is generally part of also the issue. To be thinking through all this right now. I'm debating if I should just cut my losses and just like come fresh tomorrow. Actually, something I just realized. I do have the original. Version, or like the one from the start of stream here. Oh, wait, wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, like this is what it was at the beginning of stream. Oh, but I didn't have the other chart here. God damn it. This one I actually need. Where should Janet and them be? Again, I think I need to redo it. I generally just feel like I need to redo this. I just don't. I can't find any logic in this at this point. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I just don't know what the structure of this is anymore. What's the best way of doing this? And what do you think? This is the longest project I've worked on. Yeah, maybe I do just suck at it. Fuck it. Okay, that's like way too... Okay, what the fuck? How high do I have to go for this? This? Cool. What the fuck? Okay, dude, I think I copy it like this, right? Or not? Why is it not copying the thing? Whatever. Actually, let's do... Dude, what the... Okay, dude, generally, I'm too fucking tired. Like, what the fuck? Dude, fuck off. Dude, this sucks. Dude, it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have to fucking work tomorrow. I'm not gonna fucking drink a Red Bull. Like, I'm more likely to just end, which I probably am gonna do, generally. Because I just don't think I can do this right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna end. I'm too fucking tired. I would rather just start tomorrow and have a better idea of what I'm trying to do. So yeah, fuck it. I'm done. I'll be back tomorrow. Again, I'll probably be live around 12 or so. We'll fucking see. But I might try to actually just finish it tomorrow if I have like a good idea of what I'm doing. Where yeah, it really is just like I'm really at the point where like it really doesn't matter the exact like the exact like nuances of individual people. It's more so about figuring out like the structure of like when the transition between different like groups. Again, probably midnight ish. I don't know. Tomorrow it's like it's a bit of a pain. I would rather do later. I would say, yeah, I'd say around midnight probably. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow.